Good evening and welcome to the Raw Feed. I'm Gary Franchi, and tonight we're about to venture into territory that would make George Orwell say, "I told you so." And trust me, what we're about to share isn't just news. It's a glimpse into what could be the most consequential 38 days in American history. But first, let me say hello to our millions of viewers joining us live across YouTube, Rumble, and X. And while you're watching this right now, do me a favor. Grab your phone and text the stream link to 3 people that you trust. Why? Because the big tech algorithms are working overtime to bury what we are about to discuss and disclose. Now, for our live viewers, get ready to be part of the show. We're going to be featuring your super chats, your Rumble rants between segments, putting your thoughts on the screen for millions across the world to see. And yes, super chats get priority, because you are not just viewers, you are partners in this fight for truth. Now, tonight's explosive lineup. First, what in God's name is happening in the skies over New Jersey? It continues. Mysterious drones are terrorizing military installations, and Elon Musk's warning about epic drone wars suddenly doesn't sound so crazy. And the government's response, well, that's the interesting part. Then, as we count down 38 days until Donald Trump's historic return to the White House, we've got exclusive details about the Department of Government Efficiency that has the deep state reaching for their anxiety medication. Yes, I love the Doge. Wall Street's already celebrating. Wait to see what happened at the New York Stock Exchange, but it gets better. Chicago's government is literally running away from its own meetings. The FBI has been caught red-handed on January 6th, and we've got the documents to prove it. And the system isn't just broken, folks. It's actively working against you. And finally, hold on to your hats, because Biden's pardon spree isn't just bad policy. It's a national security nightmare that would make Benedict Arnold blush. Now, before we dive in, I need to mention something important. This show exists because of viewers like you. If you value real journalism, consider supporting us through the donation links in the description. And for those who want to take it a step further, we have just launched our channel memberships with 3 exclusive tiers: Operative, Commander, and Sentinel. Each level unlocks special perks and acknowledgement in our live chat. And speaking of exclusive, have you seen our new Mag Avengers merch? Head over to shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. It's linked down below, and grab your limited edition Next News swag. Show the world that you are part of the resistance against fake news. Remember, we are live, we are uncensored, and we're counting on you to spread the word. So text the stream to your friends, follow us on Rumble and X, and get ready for the unvarnished truth that the mainstream media won't touch. Now, let's welcome you to the show. Who's here tonight? Keel for real and Julie. What is up? Julie Loper. Pothead Kenny is here. What's up, man? Hunting fun. Don't scratch the drones. SLM in Boston. Wayne Glum. Yeah. Whoa, drones. We have Drone Center in Texas. Charlie's here. Blueberries. Not sure what that means, but there it is. Jason Fortuny is here. We got Craig and Arcustus and Jan and Coffee Girl. What's up, girl? We got Joshua Costco. Deb Noble, hard member. We got War Spawn. Drone Fight. What's up? We got Butch Rutan, Sean Bond, and Nate. I'm good, Nate. How are you? We got John Talmid. Let's go Martians. We got William and William D. and Kenny and Jonathan Floming, Alabama reporting. Kelly simply says hello, and it looks like, wow, what's up? What's up? Hang on. John Lalane John Lelane of the Lelane family. John, I think have we spoken before on the phone, John? Well, he just dropped a super chat. What does he have to say? Our first super chat of the night. Gary, we were both running on the Ron Paul-esque ticket in 2014. 2016, my Republican opponent recruited me for Trump, and I never looked back. Great job, Gary. Thank you, John. Thank you, John. I remember. Yes, it is. It is the John Lelane of the Lelane family. Man, it's been a long time. It's good to see you here. Good. Thanks for the $10. I appreciate that. Very cool. All right, who else is in the house tonight? Let's check real quick in. Let's get the party started, said Craig. He said that a long time ago, though. Okay, hang on. Okay, there we go. There's the button I'm looking for. Custom for Life. David is here. Keel for Real. Jeremy Olson. Stella Watts in Australia. General Sorrow. John Lelane. Yep, that's it. Biden is a Chinese drone, says Dave. Trevor Pearson. Apparently I can't type tonight. Well, you'll get the hang of it. Welcome back, he says, John. Nice. Bird Chatter. Keep up the outstanding work. Your aggressive rebel friend, Mike Allen. What's up, Mike? Daniel in Texas. Catherine Moore. Love your channel. North Idaho. Reporting for duty. Sarah's here. God bless everyone in Jesus' name. Amen. 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 Okay, I'm trying to get a hold of Ashton Forbes. Paging Ashton Forbes. I reached out to him on X today, and we had a little exchange through direct message. And I said, hey, man, let's have you on the show sometime, like when I'm ready to start doing interviews again. It's really difficult for me to pin down a time. So it's like, for me, it's like, let's just do it spontaneously. And since I saw one of his latest tweets, which we're going to feature in the first segment, I said, why don't you come on the show? And I sent him the link and have not heard back. I messaged him. So if you guys want to help out, just start annoying him on X. And maybe he's busy. Maybe he's doing his own show. I haven't checked his channel. He does a live too. But he just put out an interesting tweet or a post, whatever you want to call it. Okay, Arcustis, we're going to get to it. Imagination doctor's here. Watch out, guys. He's going to make you disappear. So if you guys want to start harassing Ashton, maybe he'll check his DMs. Just go to my X profile and you can see my latest post where I say, Ashton, check your DMs. But if you can't make it, that's okay. We will survive. But will the rest of the planet? I don't know, given the stakes right now over New Jersey. What in the hell is going on? All right, let's see what we got here. No new members yet, but we do see some of our members in the chat with their icon next to their name, and they got the green highlighted message. That's pretty cool. And we got some new emojis are being created for our members. And if you are a member, you would have received my private message I sent out yesterday to you guys. Wait, we got some Canadian cash. It looks like has just come in. Siobhan and Chris, love you from Alberta. Watching you since 2016. Man, I really feel for you guys up in Canada. You guys are just getting hosed up there in Canada. With your descendant of Castro at the helm of your nation. So sad. But maybe he'll finally listen to Trump and do something good for his country. But whatever. We'll do our best to try to keep things free so the tyranny doesn't spill over too much. Okay, show me the money, says Gary. Show me the money. All right. Are you ready? Shall we begin? Kelly's in Montana. She's like, go. Jeremy Olson, true dork. Okay, let's go. Ashton, where are you, buddy? Come on. Last call. Last call, Ashton. Brian, if he shows up, what do you do? Will you see him somewhere? Will you see him pop in? And we'll see him. Oh, what's up? Julian McGregor. checking in from Boise. Let's see, Julian, what have you got to say here? Checking in from Boise, something super fishy going on with those drones. The fact that the president hasn't really commented is crap. Yeah. Keep doing what you're doing. Yeah. We're going to try to get to the bottom of it. Really interesting stuff has developed, though. Really bizarre. Have you seen the lasers? They're shooting at drones now. They are shooting at drones right now. Okay, you ready? Let's go. Oh, table's moving, man. Okay. Wait. Italian goddess. Okay. All right. Hang on, Brian. Hang on. Super chat. We got to hit that real quick. Italian goddess. Hi, Gary. Thank you for giving us real news. We love you and appreciate you. Italian goddess. I love it. I'm Italian Irish. My wife is Greek. Wait a second. Okay. Another one. Okay. Another one? You guys, slow down. Slow down. All right, hang on. I'm Trash Bra. Are you enjoying the season of Game of Drones? Everybody welcome Christopher Nielsen. He's part of the club now. All of our members, sound off. Welcome. Christopher, welcome to the club. Welcome to the show. Great to have you. Okay. Let's go. I like that, Brian. That's nice. Nice little addition you got there. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm about to show you defies explanation across New Jersey, Oregon, and now Germany. Unidentified drones are penetrating restricted military airspace with impunity. The White House claims ignorance while local authorities sound the alarm. Representative Jeff Van Drew suggests an Iranian connection, but the Pentagon's denial rings hollow. Meanwhile, Elon Musk's prophetic warning about epic drone wars seems less like speculation and more like insider knowledge. But here's the real question. Why won't they shoot these things down? Well, people are starting to. And you're going to find out. It points to something far more sinister than unauthorized aircraft. This isn't just a threat, it is a wake-up call. Now, Patriots, in times of uncertainty, one thing remains constant, the value of gold. Just as these mysterious drones expose gaps in our air defense, our paper currency shows dangerous vulnerabilities. While unidentified craft breach military airspace, smart investors are securing their wealth with the ultimate safe haven, gold. Call Global Gold Investments now at 888-700-4148 for your free 2024 Wealth and Retirement Guide. Remember, gold isn't getting more expensive. Your dollar's getting weaker. Protect your family's future today. Call that number, 888-700-4148, or visit IRAGoldproof.com. Mention Gary Franchi for up to $1,000 in free silver with your retirement rollover. Okay, things are heating up in Jersey, friends, and it's not just Jersey anymore. It is getting absolutely nuts. Okay, take a look at this footage. This was published a day ago, and there's the drone. You could see it in the sky, and this one apparently has laser lights on it, green laser lights. Now, you guys have seen the green laser lights. People are pointing up at airplanes. And, literally getting arrested for shooting green lasers at airplanes. Totally, illegal to do. But this one specifically appears to either be reflecting or shooting a laser. Look at that. Look at that. Right back at the people who are recording it. It's almost as if, it detects that people are recording it and it points the laser at them. I don't know if that's the case, but that is the first time we've seen any level of interaction from these types of drones. But we also have this. Okay, so this was some footage that was published yesterday, and it shows these drones opening fire in the skies above New Egypt, New Jersey. It seems like a scene out of War of the Worlds. Okay, let me see. Can you see that? Now, what needs to be noted here is that there is a military base nearby, and they did publish that they were doing live fire exercises. Okay, so I want to be very clear that this could very well be one of those live fire exercises taking place. But I can only imagine, given the heightened state of awareness that people are in right now, when they see
completely stationary shooting.
So that could be a helicopter participating in live fire military exercises. Very simply, that's what it could be. But again, with the heightened sense of hysteria, everybody's pointing their cameras at the sky right now. And everybody is jumping to conclusions. And that's what's making this thing even more difficult to try to ascertain the source of it all. Because you have situations where you do have actual airplanes. You have people that could be sending up amateur drones. You have people that are capturing footage of a military exercise. And then you got the actual drones themselves that are causing all the problems. And then you might even have UAPs that people don't understand. So look at this one. This one was published 2 hours ago. Okay? So this person's Sierra Catalina 2 hours ago. So I hadn't seen any of the drones in New Jersey until I did. WTF is this? Now, there could be a very simple explanation. Now, we're going to get to the White House and the press secretary and the Department of Homeland Security, all that. We're going to get to that in a minute. But this could, okay, let's try to explain this away. This could very easily be just a blurry image, somebody zooming in, camera shake, dirty lens. How many times have you tried to take a picture of dirty lens and you zoom in, it's just all blurry? Try doing that at night. It's going to look even worse. So you have a situation like this. I'm not saying it's not a drone or a UAP or whatever it could be, but my mind wants to go to logical places. And given, again, the heightened sense of hysteria, everybody is looking at drones. Now we have Secretary Mayorkas suggesting they lack the authority to do anything. Think about that. This is the same guy that left the borders wide open, let 20 million illegals in, saying he lacks authority. I don't know. Last time I checked, the United States had authority over its own airspace. This is the head of the Department of Homeland Security claiming he has no authority. This guy is as worthless as they come. And he's on CNN. Of course, he goes to a safe space. Let's see what Wolf Blitzer had to say to this guy.
And we have also asked
President-elect Donald Trump, he just called on the Biden administration for you guys to either release any information it has about these mysterious drone sightings or shoot the drones out of the sky. How do you respond to the president-elect?
Well, first of all, the statements I've made already are the principal message that I want to communicate to the American public. We haven't seen anything unusual. We know of no threat. Secondly, we have gone to...
Okay, point by point here. We haven't seen anything unusual. I think for the past 3 weeks, we have seen quite a bit of unusual activity over New Jersey, and now it appears to be spreading across the country and across the world. These people are out to lunch.
Congress repeatedly asking for more authority to counter drone activity, and we have also asked for more authority to give to the state and local officials under our supervision, because it correctly notes those authorities need to be expanded.
I want to play something another New Jersey congressman, Republican Jeff Van Drew, said about the drones over his state in New Jersey. Listen to this.
We're not being told the truth. They are dealing with the American public like we're stupid. They don't know what it is. They don't know what it's about. They haven't taken one down to analyze it. They have no idea where it comes from, but they know that it's not that. I mean, that's nonsense. They do not know what they're doing. Why don't they take one of them down, analyze it, and let us know what's really happening?
What do you say to the congressman?
Well, first of all, we have experts, and he should not diminish the extent of their expertise and the extent of their dedication to the well-being of the American people. These are individuals who dedicate their careers to the safety and security.
Oh, shut up, Mayorkas. He's denigrating the people. Dude, you've denigrated this country. All right?
of the United States of America, number one. Number two, it's not as though anyone can just take down a drone in the sky. That in and of itself would be dangerous.
Oh my God. This guy, this is the caliber of people we have heading Department of Homeland Security. I showed you a video 2 days ago of the technology that we do have to take drones out of the sky, to neutralize them. And this guy's telling you that we can't do it. I showed you Department of Defense video.
Do you have the authority to shoot down drones?
Our authorities are very limited. That is precisely why we have gone to Congress to expand those authorities. Our authorities are limited by the United States Coast Guard in the maritime environment, the United States Secret Service in its protection of our national leaders, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection with respect to the border. We have various authorities that are discrete to the particular missions. We can't just shoot a drone out of the sky.
But do you know for sure these are drones or unmanned aircraft?
You can't
What
shoot
are
a
they?
drone out of the sky.
We believe that there are cases of mistaken identity where drones are actually small aircraft and people are misidentifying them. There very well may be drones in the sky, of course, but those are commercially available. One can go into a convenience store and buy a small drone. There are also commercial.
Okay, first of all, people are reporting these are the size of cars. I can't go into a local hobby shop and buy a drone the size of a car, Mayorkas.
Drones as well, but we know of no threat or nefarious activity. And I want to repeat, Wolf, that if we learn of any cause for concern, we will be transparent in our communication of it.
We know that some of these drones, whether in the Middle East or Ukraine, have weapons, have missiles attached to these drones. Wouldn't it be smart to at least get a look at these drones to see if they are armed?
Wolf, there is no question that technology has advanced in the realm of drones. They can fly farther, they can fly faster, they can carry heavier payloads. Our authorities need to keep up with the technological advances. The chairman of the Homeland Security Committee in the House of Representatives.
Okay, whatever this guy's saying is worthless, so I'm going to cut out of him. Okay, let's just cut out of him. Okay, so let's get to Ashton Forbes. And this is what he just posted an hour ago. Optimizations. Now, we've seen some... Okay, there's been some crazy video of drones that look like orbs. All right? And Ashton Forbes knows a thing or two about orbs. If you want to find out about what happened to flight MH370, go and look up his work. It's phenomenal. And I'm going to have him on at some point later. But optimization of plasma-propelled drone performance parameters 2024. Americans better wake up to the reality of plasma drones because the CCP is taking it very seriously. Okay, here it is. Recently, the world's first plasma-propelled drone was successfully flown, demonstrating that plasma propulsion technology is suitable for drone flight. The research on plasma propulsion drones has sparked a surge of interest. This study utilized a proxy model and the NSGA2 multi-objective genetic algorithm to optimize the geometric parameters based on staggered thrusters that affect the performance of electroaerodynamics thrusters used for solid-state plasma aircraft. So, I'm not going to get into all the specifics here because it's way above my pay grade, but he is pointing out that they do have the technology for plasma-propelled drone aircraft. And that could also be what we're seeing, because we see some kind of plasma field around some of these. And some of it could just be really bad camera lenses. I don't know. But I wanted to bring that to your attention. And then we have this here, okay? We've got some video of this type of drone in action. One of the first times I've ever seen one of these. Samuel Hammond says that this matches the video I've seen and certainly helps explain the government's odd response. Now we're going to show you one of these drones in action. Looks like it has the wings fold out. It can have vertical takeoff, and then it can move forward. They write that they think it's a Terradynamics XP4 transwing drone. The stubby nose, straight side wings, long tail with dual forking fins visible in the first Twitter X post at 19 seconds. The Terradynamics XP4 is being developed for the U.S. Navy as a recon and logistics drone capable of picking up and dropping off packages between land and a moving ship, including a high sea and high wind. As the name suggests, it's a trans-wing design which transitions between quadcopter and fixed-wing modes for both long-range flight and VTOL capabilities, so it can hover pretty much at will. Unreal. Okay, so Teal Red Octopus, call me crazy, but there are mystery drones, and people are saying they're seeing mists or trails of substance coming from them. I'm in the ER right now with people of all ages, hunched over in excruciating pain, that are vomiting and some with diarrhea. The staff just told me that there's a new virus. They don't know the name of it, or is it me? Am I overthinking? Something doesn't seem right. That's according to a New Jersey resident this evening. Okay. The name has been redacted. That's all I can show you. Apparently, Rosemary is the person's name. I bet you if we reverse engineered that photograph, it might take a little time, but we could probably figure out who the person is. But now they're saying people are getting sick with a mystery virus. I mean, what in the hell is going on? A mystery virus. Is that the point of this? I mean, people have been posting these trails, chemtrails or contrails, whatever you want to call them, but that's what some of them are. They could just be jet contrails. Some could be chemtrails. I don't know. Are these things spraying stuff now? Well, there's people who believe that, and they're getting sick in the ER. Trump demands answers. As you heard Wolf Schitzer say, Trump demands answers over mystery U.S. drone sightings. Let the public know. And now, otherwise, shoot them down. Wow. So, shoot them down. Donald Trump says, shoot them down, and the people of New Jersey are listening. Mystery drone sightings all over the country. Can this really be happening without our government's knowledge? I don't think so. Let the public know, and now, otherwise, shoot them down. Donald John Trump. And ask and you shall receive, right? Yeah, we got more, folks. Don't you worry. The party's not over yet. This one claims to be the clearest drone UAPD sighting that I've seen in New Jersey, taken last night in Neptune, New Jersey. This was published 4 hours ago by Guitarland. Now, that looks like a fixed-wing craft. Is there any audio? I don't hear any audio on this. Nope, no audio. And, notice, okay, there is a blinking light underneath. It doesn't have the traditional green and red lights on the... Wow. Wait, maybe it's just flying overhead, so it appears to be morphing into a... Yeah, it's flying right over this person's head. I don't know, man. Man, we just need answers. I don't know what this thing is, but it looks like it could be a... It's not following standard FAA, but it does have a blinking light. Okay. We got some more. Pentagon, of course, shooting down the New Jersey representative's claim that drones are from an Iranian mothership. That was the big story. Congressman Jeff Van Drew wants flight restrictions. Well, from what I understand, the FAA has already imposed flight restrictions, but it's not making a difference.
Told it wasn't, whether they belong to a foreign adversary or even a group of reckless individuals. We've been down this road before. When the Chinese spy balloon crossed our skies, we were told it wasn't a threat. We later learned it was actively gathering intelligence. Yet we have already made the same damn mistake with these drones by allowing them to freely operate for almost a month now. America, it's time to take this seriously. We need answers, and we need action, and we need it now. I am calling for immediate flight restrictions in those areas and any measures necessary to eliminate this threat. We must take these drones out of the sky so we can finally get some answers in who is flying them and why they're flying, whether they belong to a foreign adversary.
And apparently one did actually supposedly crash. There was a lot of activity. We've got some footage from that as well. Okay, I'm going to show you. We got a lot to cover, so I'm telling you what's ahead. But look at this. Okay, New York Post. Jeff Van Drew, representative, doubles down on the claim that the mystery drones are coming from foreign mothership offshore. We are not being told the truth. That is according to the New York Post. And then here he posts this. This is corroborating his statement a day ago. Iran's militarized drone carrier vanished from port between November 12th and November 28th, right around when the drone started appearing. It's our responsibility to at least investigate any potential connection to what is happening in New Jersey. We need answers. So this is satellite recon imagery showing the Iranian drone ship there and then not there. So he's backing up his own claim with satellite imagery. Here we have Jeff Van Drew on the Dom Giordano program addressing criticism after blowing the whistle on the Iranian drone ship. He says there's something called rapid response. This should be called dumbass response. So he's backing up his claims. He's doubling down. Let's listen.
Congressman Dan, my producer, has a question.
Yeah, Congressman, this ship that you're talking about, because there's been a lot of discussion, and it's unfair, the coverage that you've gotten, because this article's been out there. I mean, Business Insider had this back on December 5th, so if any journalist just did any kind of research, they could have found exactly what you're talking about. And I myself, I did do some research here, and I found, can you give us some information about the ship? Because what they did, I think they took a cargo ship, they bought an old cargo ship, retrofitted it with like a runway, and created like an actual ship from scratch.
I mean, this is so bad and so wrong at so many levels. We spend almost $1 trillion a year in the Pentagon, but they can't even get their act together. They are so far. I've said this. I said it before. It's not the first time I said it yesterday. China is a decade ahead of us. We are too. I'm serious about this. We are too worried about DEI and paying for sex changes in the different agencies and using the proper pronouns. Man, we've got to get focused as a country. This is serious stuff. These other folks aren't kidding around. These countries are serious. They want to be number one. They want to take over. We need to do way better. That's the one issue. And yeah, you're right. They retrofitted the ship. They've been dealing with China, getting information, technology, and material itself. They've been getting the drones. So these drones are very sophisticated. We don't have them. They can navigate well at night. The sophistication on how they are navigating is amazing because they're making sure not to be detected by radar. And by the way, our radar is not capable of actually fingerprinting them. So now the Department of Defense the military is bringing in some more radar, which nobody has announced, but I'm telling you it's true, and it eventually will be announced. But Utah, there's something called rapid response. Well, this to me should be called slow, dumbass response. I've never seen anything like it. I feel like I'm living in bizarre.
Wow, I'm putting that headline on top of the building. Henry, get out there at that big sign. I know it's windy. Slow, dumbass response.
Slow, dumbass response, indeed. Okay, let's continue. We've got more. This is, again, look at that picture he was just referencing of the ship that has left port, the Iranian militarized drone carrier. Okay. Mr. Fireside posting this. Okay, so we played this. We played this yesterday or 2 days ago, but it bears repeating.
These drones. Sources tell us there's a possibility that these drones are actually very advanced military craft and that the Pentagon's testing these drones over friendly American territory. Drone warfare has become so critical, as we've seen in Ukraine, that the U.S. military needs to test American drone capability in residential and urban areas. But the
Okay, so Jesse Waters is saying it's us. Van Drew is saying it's Iranian drones. The Pentagon is saying it's not the Iranian drones. And Mayorkas says we can't do anything. Our hands are tied because we're waiting for Congress. Okay? Like, nobody knows what the hell is going on. Literally, There are so many mixed messages, it's hard to get a bead on anything. Okay, this goes back to what Ashton Forbes brought up about the plasma drones. An alleged glowing orb drone, UAP, flies by Miami South Beach, a Miami balcony just a few hours ago. It's hard to pull something like this. This is mind-boggling. Now, this is in Miami, all right? Watch this. Here's the drone.
What is this? Is this the same kind of drone that they're seeing in New Jersey? What is this? Is this the same kind of drone that they're seeing in New Jersey?
Look at the reflection off the building. Okay, you can see the reflection off the building. Now people are saying, "Oh no, it's a reflection off the window. It's a hoax." But when you look at it clearly, you can see
Same kind of drone
that it is right there. Look. You can see the reflection of the lighting off of the building. Now, this okay, we can explain this. This is either a glowing orb, or it could be a drone with a super bright light attached to it that's flying. I don't know. But this is out of Miami. Okay. I am Dr. Venkman, obviously a parody account from Ghostbusters, says, "I fear our society is past the point of no return. The masses are stupid. All these videos of airplanes flying at night are exactly that, airplanes flying at night. How do we become so dumb? People are spoon-fed info from engagement farmers that have no interest in showing the truth. They spread absurd nonsense to make a few bucks. The truth isn't sexy." Now, I'll admit, I fell victim to a hoax last night when I was reviewing some of the footage that came across, and I said, "Holy cow." I said, this looks like the clearest drone footage I've ever seen. And right away, somebody messaged me and said, "No, Gary, that's a hoax. That's somebody did some 3D imagery." Boom, I deleted it. I mean, some of this stuff is very difficult to understand. But people are saying these are car-sized drones. Okay, here is video of actual military drones that are very large. These are car size, truck size military drones, quadcopters. Now, quadcopters are they're gonna emit that sound, that buzzing sound that you look at the weaponry on these things. Quadcopters will emit a sound. You'll clearly know. You'll hear the propellers. Some of the videos we've seen. Look at this thing. It's crazy, right? Now, 2 days ago, this was posted. This looks like it's from one of those flight radar apps. And where'd it go? Here it is. The mystery drones are originating from. Now, you can see this call sign Tulip 58. Tulip 58 comes out of Jersey over the ocean and circles an area. Now, this kind of lines up with Van Drew. What he's saying, that these drones are coming in off the ocean and they're from an Iranian drone ship, mothership. And if that's the case, in Tulip 58, it looks like it's a military aircraft. And you can see it. Let's see if you can find that, if I can get that picture for you. Yeah, there it is. That's what it looks like. So it looks like a military aircraft out there investigating what's happening. Now, this is over Los Angeles.
What are these? And why are there so many of them? Like, all here? Okay, that one looks like a helicopter.
Okay, so again, I gotta say that some of these people, I think, are feeding into the hysteria, and what they're looking at, like they have a heightened sense of awareness to look up and look and question. So this person in LA, I'm trying to be like as pragmatic as possible here to find a logical solution to some of these videos we're seeing. Some I can't explain. This guy over is Los Angeles. Maybe he's not used to seeing all the air traffic over LA. And suddenly, because everyone's talking about drones, he decides to look up one night and goes, "Oh my goodness, look at all this, look at all these lights in the sky," and freaks out.
The other ones are.
And he doesn't know. And he's just looking at air traffic. And that's part of the problem we're facing now, because this story has spread so far. And it has reached the Pentagon. It has reached Department of Homeland Security. It has reached CNN. It's reached Fox News. Local media is covering it. They're having congressional hearings. Department of Homeland Security is hosting town hall meetings in New Jersey. So, like, the hysteria is real. And that's why I think we're going to get a lot of false positives out of this situation here. Now we have this too. This was just released. Reuters confirming this. Mystery drones buzzing Ramstein Air Base. Unidentified drones spotted zipping over the U.S. Ramstein Air Base in Germany and other key sites on December 3rd and 4th, leaving authorities scratching their heads. And then this is another one. This is over Virgie, Kentucky. And this Truth Poll X notes that this does not look like anything like a drone. Now, I don't know. There's no real context to this, right? You've got someone pointing a camera. I don't have any reference points to things on the ground to say how large this is. I mean, this, you know what this could be? Hell, this could be a fluorescent light bulb reflecting off the glass in someone's kitchen as they point the window at the sky. I mean, there have been instances where videos are totally debunked because that's exactly what they were. And people intentionally post this garbage because they want to do engagement farming, and they see a cylindrical object over Virgie, Kentucky, filmed with a 150x telescope. Well, give me some reference points. I have no reference points here. Unidentified drone sighted over U.S. airbase in Germany. Multiple drones entered airspace at, listen to this, New Jersey Naval Air Station. The general posting this. Oh my. U.S. Air Force has confirmed drones were spotted over Germany's Ramstein base as German authorities investigate potential sabotage linked to critical infrastructure. Warren County Police Chiefs Association has raised serious concerns, publicly disagreeing with the FBI and other federal agencies that dismiss the mysterious drones as no threat to the public. Shadow of Ezra on X. Local authorities are frustrated and alarmed, receiving no real answers. Now, what the hell is that? That looks like something out of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I mean, that's the visual. That's immediately what I get right there. Now, I wonder if some of these are straight up hoaxes. People just feeding into the hysteria. Going and getting some, making their own homemade drone and putting it up with a bunch of crazy lights on it and making people even more freaked out. Yeah, see, and they add some creepy music to even amplify the whole thing. Okay, so here is Biden. Just in 5 hours ago, Biden not ready to order drone takedowns. John Kirby says the White House doesn't know enough about the drones to make a decision on whether to take them down. John Kirby. The Biden administration.
Do you know and you can't say? Can you tell me that?
No, I'm telling you, Martha, I'm telling you, we don't know.
Let me ask you this.
Corroborate every single sighting. Some of them we have, not all of them, and we're working hard to do that. We know people are afraid of it. We know people have concerns. We have those same concerns.
Yeah, because they're flying over your house, and it sounds like there are motorcycles landing on your roof. Let me ask you this. One, person who watched this online said they think it's a Terrodynamics Transwing Drone XP4, which is being developed by the U.S. Navy as a recon and logistics drone capable of picking up and dropping off packages between land and moving ships in high seas and winds. They're suggesting it's an American company. We asked the company. They said we can't speculate on the origin of the drones that are flying over New Jersey. So is that an avenue that has been inspected? Is this a private company that is practicing something? And wouldn't they have to clear something with somebody to have this kind of activity?
It could very well be, as I said, these could be commercially developed drones of some kind.
Why not just take one down and figure out what's going on?
Well, the idea of taking something down, again, you want to worry about public safety. First of all, we don't have enough conclusions to take that kind of a policy action. But let's just assume for a minute, Martha, that we did. I mean, you're not going to want to shoot something down where it could hit somebody's house or hurt somebody.
Well, the Coast Guard says that there are 30 of them following one of their ships in the ocean. So would that work?
I mean, again, we have to develop the policy options based on what we know we're dealing with here, and we just don't know enough to make those to take those kinds of actions. But my goodness, we're going to do everything we can to find out, and we're going to share as much as we can. I understand it's frustrating for folks.
Yeah.
It's frustrating for us. We want to know as well.
What does President Biden say about it?
He also has tasked the team to look into this and to be energetic in doing it to try to get answers. He saw some of these images yesterday. He has talked to his team, including his top leaders, including at the Defense Department. And
have you called in like AI experts or said, like, why don't we ask
between scoops of ice cream and applesauce, right?
Elon Musk what he thinks, or brought in outside experts?
We're working really hard right now inside in the interagency, and certainly supporting the FBI and DHS as they investigate this. And if we need to have additional conversations with people outside the lifelines, we certainly will do that. But I want to make sure I don't get ahead of the investigators and what they're doing.
It just seems weird. I mean, people, they're low. They fly fairly low, some of these. It just, I think, is amazing that the White House has no idea what's going on. I think that makes people feel really unsettled. In New Jersey, they sent out an intelligence bulletin, I should say, issued in December of 2024 with recommendations for encountering downed UAVs. And it says a downed or landed drone should not be approached. It says, request hazardous materials response unit or local hazmat team. And then it says, request the nearest bomb squad. Do you agree with those recommendations if one of these things comes into someone's house or lands in their yard, or they have to deal with it?
Yeah, look, I haven't seen that directive, but all that makes perfect sense to me as a former military person. If something like an aircraft of any kind lands in your backyard or close to you or your family, call the authorities. Don't approach it. You don't know what it is, and you don't know what kind of fuel might be on board. You absolutely should just call the authorities. Make sure you report it. Don't go near it. Don't touch it. You don't want to get hurt.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Kirby. Appreciate that. Appreciate the insight. Now check this out. 10 hours ago, this was posted on TikTok. Crash Cam 420. Okay. People are reporting strange radio noises while driving near these drones. Now, again, this could be somebody just posting some hoax stuff, adding a soundtrack over a video just to create more hysteria. All right. Here we have a fleet of UFOs.
Holy piss.
A fleet of UFOs has appeared over the U.S., dividing the nation into UFO loving and UFO denying groups. I don't know. I mean, okay, let's think. Maybe you guys have seen those Japanese lanterns where they light a candle and then it floats up in the air. You get a whole group of people out there launching. I've seen it. People launching 100 of these things at a time, and they all float up in the air. That could explain what we're seeing here.
Crap. There is some wild-looking crap in the skies. Holy piss. Hold on. I'm gonna put my hat on backwards. I don't know what's going on. I hope these are in focus. Look at this.
That right there, those look like Japanese lanterns. A whole bunch of them at one time at night. Okay. Here we have again, a day ago, if it's in Iran or China, there's no credible evidence to suggest there is. Who is it? Could it be homegrown? Jesse Waters says military advanced craft.
An understanding of the challenge. This week, the Secretary signed a classified strategy for countering unmanned systems, more commonly known as drones, have the potential to pose both an urgent and enduring threat to U.S. personnel, facilities, and assets overseas, and increasingly in the U.S. homeland.
Where's that footage? We got footage of the drones that had actually shot that crashed. We're going to get to that. But this is okay. This is that drone that someone in New Jersey claims that they. Let's see. You could see. This is what people are potentially seeing. This style of drone flying in groups. This is a United States military drone with the fixed wings that can move for vertical takeoff and landing. That's what Martha was talking about. Okay. Now here's another video that's posted 10 hours ago. In the middle of an ocean on a ferry, nothing around, and then bam, drones appear out of nowhere in the middle of the sea. Our government knows what it is, but they aren't telling us. Now, if this was taken out in the middle of the ocean, those would not be Japanese lanterns. But he's on a ferry, he's panning around, and he sees these things in the middle. Who knows what they are?
Look, nothing in the sky at all. Then all of a sudden, bam! What is that? Anybody tell me what that is? We're in the middle of the ocean on a ferry. Nothing around. Look, nothing around. No land, no nothing.
Yeah. Okay, so here is let's go. We got more from John Kirby. This is at the White House official from C-SPAN.
Now, finally, I just want to add a few comments on the reports of drone activity here on the East Coast, particularly in and around New Jersey. We have no evidence at this time that the reported drone sightings pose a national security or a public safety threat, or have a foreign nexus. The Department of Homeland Security and the FBI are investigating these sightings, and they're working closely with state and local law enforcement to provide resources using numerous detection methods to better understand their origin. Using very sophisticated electronic detection technologies provided by federal authorities, we have not been able to, and neither have state or local law enforcement authorities, corroborate any of the reported visual sightings. To the contrary, upon review of available imagery, it appears that many of the reported sightings are actually manned aircraft that are being operated lawfully. The United States Coast Guard is providing support to the state of New Jersey and has confirmed that there is no evidence of any foreign-based involvement from coastal vessels. And importantly, there are no reported or confirmed drone sightings in any restricted airspace. Now, that said, we certainly take seriously the threat that can be posed by unmanned aircraft systems, which is why law enforcement and other agencies continue to support New Jersey and investigate the reports, even though they have uncovered no malicious activity or intent at this particular stage. While there is no known malicious activity occurring, the reported sightings there do, however, highlight a gap in authorities. And so we urge Congress to pass important legislation that will extend and expand existing counter-drone authorities so that we are better prepared to identify and mitigate any potential threats to airports or other critical infrastructure, and so that state and local authorities are provided all the tools that they need to respond to such threats as well. Now,
He wants, hey, Congress, go pass some legislation. Okay, hey, guys, let's get the committee together. Let's draft some 5,000-page legislation, and let's go ahead and lobby for it on Capitol Hill. Let's bring it to the floor. Let's put it in committee. Let's debate on it. Let's do the markups. Let's bring everyone together, and then we're going to figure out if we can actually vote on this. Oh, we can't get to a consensus? Okay, let's vote again. Yeah, see how slow the reaction is here? He's passing it off to Congress. If they wanted, they could declare, national threat, take the action right now. I mean, what happens if there's an airliner that's hijacked, right? What do? They send up the F-16s and they say, we're going to shoot this thing out of the sky, right? But no, they can't do this for some simple little frickin' drones. We're going to go to Congress. It's a total joke what these people are doing. Okay, here's this guy. Okay, this was just published a day ago. All right. This is the video of the man who saw an up-close version of the UFO UAP drones we've been seeing in New Jersey. The UFO was a few feet away from him, and he said it was the size of a 2-car garage, 40 feet by 40 feet. It looked like a drone on steroids. Here's News Nation.
Come on the show to talk. How is it possible that everyone from the New Jersey governor to the FBI have no idea what these are? Joining us now is my friend Evan Cutler, who witnessed one of the drones up close in New Jersey. He took some pictures as well. Evan, good to see you. So Evan described to me what he saw, and I said, you got to come on the show to talk.
How about you show us the pictures? Don't describe it.
Evan, what did you see?
Well, I saw a drone. If it was a drone, who knows what it was, but it was not the drone you see people fly. There's the picture. It was the size of a school bus, literally the size of my 2-car garage. Well, I have a 1-car garage, the size of a 2-car garage.
And what happened when you saw it or you started taking pictures, et cetera?
Well, to back up a little bit, I'm coming home from On Patrol Live. It's 12:30 at night, and I get into Montclair, New Jersey, and I see the full moon. And I'm like, well, it can't be a full moon because the full moon was 2 weeks ago. All of a sudden, it's getting closer and closer. And then first, I think it's a plane, then a helicopter. Then it's hovering right over the woods as you're entering Montclair. And it's a drone literally 40 feet wide by 40 feet wide, hovering right over the woods. I pull over, get out of my car, forget about the phone. I'm just like looking at this thing, wondering what the heck it is. Then I said, oh, I should take a picture. I grab my phone, starts the second it notices I'm out there, it just starts heading south. Grab the picture. The picture looks like a dot. It looks like, at the very most, like a Plan 9 from outer space flying saucer. But when I got a good close look at it, when it was only about 100 feet off the ground, maybe 150 feet off the ground, it looked like a drone on steroids, like literally a drone the size of a garage.
And you reported it to the authorities?
I got home. The first thing I did is I Googled. I went on X. I went on Instagram. Is this a thing? And I saw nothing except one little news report from Morris County Patch about some drones making noise and keeping people up at night. Nothing. So the next morning I called the FAA. I called the FBI.
The next morning?
Still to this day, I have not gotten a response from either of them.
Well, it's not surprising considering we just saw them in front of a House committee saying they don't know what's going on. But,
The one thing I got to say, though, is if for people like me who do see something that's unidentified, there's very little recourse. I Googled, what do you do when you see a UFO? There's nothing. I think that's why a lot of times these things go unreported. You have nowhere to go. And I'm a seasoned journalist. I know, I did some digging. I found out who to call. And to this day, I've gotten no response.
It's weird that it's just happening in this one area of New Jersey. Maybe they're just monitoring you, Evan,
That was my first thought. And, and I do have my aluminum foil here if I do want to make a hat.
Come on, dude.
That was what some people at On Patrol Live suggested. But, as ridiculous as everything sounds, I do have a teeny bit of credibility. I'm the president of the Montclair Bird Club. I'm used to looking at things in the sky. I've been a bird watcher since 4th grade.
He's got credibility, guys. It's a bird watcher. I mean, if there's somebody I'm going to call, if I see something unidentified in the sky, I'm going to reach out to my local bird watching club. Are you kidding me, dude?
In my weekends at the Montclair Hawk Watch, I look at things in the sky. I know that's one of the things I'm good at.
Yeah, you're good at many things, Evan. Don't sell
Bro, you should have kept that to yourself, man.
yourself short. Evan Cutler, thank you very much for coming on the show. Appreciate it. See you this weekend.
Yeah, Evan Cutler, dude. He's the man. He's the guy you need to talk to. Multiple unidentified drones. This comes 9 hours ago. Entered the airspace over a Navy weapons station in New Jersey. Naval officials report. Okay, so if they're over a naval installation, that should immediately be cause for concern and give you immediate authorization to scramble jets. Get the Blackhawks up. Get them going. Chase these things down. But you got Mayorkas going, and Kirby going, well, maybe we should go to Congress and write a bill.
to public safety.
Now to New York and New Jersey senators expressing urgent concern over those drone sightings, demanding federal agencies brief them on the growing issue. Ariel Reshef is here now with more for us. Good morning, Ariel.
Good morning to you, Michael. This situation is distressing not only to officials and law enforcement, but of course to the residents in these areas where these aircraft have been spotted. Now members of the president's own party are blasting the administration's lack of transparency and action.
Night after night for weeks, this menacing sight in the skies above the Northeast. But this morning, the White House, FBI, and Homeland Security downplaying any potential threat to public safety or national security.
Upon review of available imagery, it appears that many of the reported sightings are actually manned aircraft that are being operated lawfully.
The Biden administration saying it has no evidence that these aircraft were sent by a foreign adversary. But that hasn't quelled concerns from some New Jersey officials.
I'm incredulous about that. That is ridiculous. I would invite Mr. Kirby to Mine Hill. Come on out, and you can count him with me all night.
That frustration echoed by members of Congress on both sides of the aisle.
They should be shot down if necessary. The lack of information is absolutely unacceptable.
In a strongly worded letter to the FBI, DHS,
a strongly worded letter. Yeah, that's going to do it.
FAA, senators from New York and New Jersey expressing urgent concern. Drone experts suggest the concern may not be one for national security, but rather for privacy.
I question the rights of someone to fly over populated areas with cameras trained on the people below them. Am I worried in the sense of national security? Based on what I've heard, the answer is no.
And there's still no clarity on where these aircraft are coming from. An expert we spoke to said that the fact that these aircraft have flown freely near sensitive areas may indicate that they are not foreign and that the military is aware of them. The White House says it will continue to investigate, as will we, guys.
Yeah, sure. We've got a lot of faith in those guys. This ex-user says we cannot detect the radio frequency channels of the drones. New Jersey State Police say the UFO drones are operating on a frequency that cannot be detected. And then he shows this video of the Chinese drone swarms that we've shown you in the past. Here are the drones. This was published 21 hours ago. Drones UAPs over New York. Look at that. Can you see that here? Let me get a little bit better shot for you there. Drones over New York. Are those flights? Are those airlines on approach? I mean, are they in a holding pattern or are they actually drones? This person says they've identified one of the most viral drone videos. Here's a classic example. It's a PC-12 flight HR F-15 flying to Teterboro Airport. I spoke with the pilot who viewed the video and said, definitely me. Media is currently reporting this as a mystery drone while mystery solved. Okay. Another classic example.
This is a video of the Morris County drones with characteristic triangle lights on the back or underneath.
And that is it's a small plane. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Oh, she's pissed. She's pissed, guys. Oh, yes, she is. Listen to her. Listen to what she has to say.
What this is. Well, number one, I'm going to call it total bullshit that no one knows what these are. And I think it's a slap in the face to the American people to say they don't know what this is. They can track down a guy that just killed a CEO, but they can't identify what nightly drones are and where they're coming from. I think that is absolutely disgusting to lie to the American people like this, and the truth needs to be told about it. Secondly, if they're telling the truth, then this country is in horrible shape. We're all in danger. I mean, seriously, if our great government can't identify what these drones are, they're flying every single night, that people are sitting out there videoing with their cell phones, then no American is safe. And I mean, I have no respect if our government cannot say what these are.
So if we don't know who they are, right, so it's got to be somebody else, or they're just not telling us and they know who it is. And some people have said maybe it's, foreign adversary. What do you think?
I personally, I seriously don't know, but I think they know. I think our Pentagon knows. Our Pentagon should know, right? The Department of Defense absolutely should know. And I'm not privy to that information. I'm not we're not in control yet. But I'll call them a bunch of liars, and I think they're full of shit.
Because they're saying they don't know. So it's like, if you don't know, then...
If they don't know, they need to resign in shame. That's what I think. And we need people in charge that can know what this is. But I don't buy it at all.
Yeah, she's not buying it at all. Okay, U.S. Senator Andy Kim reports seeing multiple drones flying over New Jersey yesterday. A U.S. senator. Here is key findings with video. Local police say they're seeing them every night. They've attempted to chase the drones with helicopters, but once they get too close, they attempt to chase. Once they get too close, the drones turn off their lights and go dark. The drones always come out after dark and disappear before dawn. They move horizontally and instantly switch back in the opposite direction, as planes can't do. Travel in clusters of 2 or 4. Some are illuminated in solid white lights. Others had red and green directional lights. Police are receiving reports that these drones are flying low and close to homes, being described by witnesses as being the size of car hoods. Drones do not show up on any flight tracking apps. Kim made these observations while out with police near Round Valley Reservoir. And this is, I guess, some of his footage. Now there you can see blinking lights, directional lights.
Weird, because that's just in the middle of Round Valley.
Yeah, that one right straight ahead.
Yeah, but what are they doing? We have family down, my son's going to college down the shore, and they're right there.
I can't tell what's going on in that one there. There's another one. Again, that could just be a small plane.
I feel like they're gonna crash.
Yeah.
What are they passing each other?
I've never seen them.
Wow, they just passed each other.
Yeah, I've never seen them.
Oh, wow, look at that. Well, that's weird. That's weird. That was one, looked like one solid light and split off into two.
That's really convincing.
Yeah, they are. They're coming this way towards Round Valley.
Video from Senator Andy Kim. This was posted a couple days ago. Now, this is probably one of the most bizarre ones I've seen yet. As close as it gets to the biblical Ezekiel's wheel within a wheel, rotating on its own axis. They aren't drones, says this poster, Kay Schroeder. Admiral John Kirby, whatever. Homeland Security and the FBI jointly issued a statement on reported drone sightings in New Jersey one day ago. We have no evidence at this time the reported drone sightings pose a national security or public safety threat or have any foreign nexus. The FBI, DHS, and our federal partners in close coordination with the New Jersey State Police continue to deploy personnel and technology to investigate the situation and confirm whether the reported drone flights are actually drones or instead manned aircraft or other inaccurate sightings. And again, we have the people shooting at the drones. Why won't the government shoot the drones down? That's the question. Here's some more footage. Another one saying the best footage so far. I mean, everyone's posting this is the best footage so far, right? But those look like identical light configurations. Okay. And one day ago, New Jersey and New York authorities are actually doing it, along with the FBI launching drones to observe at times and attempt to engage these UAPs.
Time to size wrap. Authorities in Toms River, New Jersey, launching their own drone offensive for a closer look
their eye in the sky, capturing one of the drones in motion.
They're 2 feet bigger than our drones, or 2 times the size rather, so they're about 4 feet, and it looks like it's a fixed wing type craft. What concerns us mostly is that at this point nobody's seen any of these units taking off or landing.
When you see something of this capacity, you wonder why it would be needed. What are they doing? It implies a heavy payload, and a heavy payload would be either something dangerous, a bomb, but in this case, surveillance of some sort.
Look what's back again. Same spot as last night.
Meanwhile, more sightings of the large drones continue to proliferate social media. New Jersey resident Michael Marciano capturing these images on Saturday.
Coming right above my house. It's moving really fast now.
Growing concern as the mystery in the sky continues.
The mystery in the sky continues. Officer Liu, 9 hours ago, multiple drones have repeatedly entered the airspace over a Navy weapons station in New Jersey. White House says drones seen over Jersey are lawfully operated manned aircraft. Really?
Any. I just want to add a few comments on the reports of drone activity here on the East Coast, particularly in and around New Jersey. We have no evidence at this time that the reported drone sightings pose a national security or...
Okay, I think we saw that one already. I got to find the footage. Okay, here's another one saying the clearest drone UAP sighting in New Jersey, Neptune, New Jersey. Everyone says it. This is the clearest picture yet. And then we get, like, potato. Swarm of drones spotted in Sacramento, California. Again, this looks like it could easily be Japanese lanterns mistaken for drones. Okay, here's the downed drone, Morris County Dispatch Group 6. Listen.
It's going to be 10 East and Frank. County 32144, stop in New York. Yeah. It's going to be 10 East and Franklin, just in Denville with Lima, Papa November 6777. Sorry, Toyota, New York. Receive.
Wait for it. Come on, give me more.
Alright. 85 from 90, I'll give you a 21.
That might work, so I mean, do you have it? Call 110. He's got his personal. County from 85. What was the exact call? That this wasn't actually saw it crash or heard it crash?
Per the caller, a drone fell out of the sky by the power lines behind their house. And then 10 more showed up.
County, what was the actual address of the call?
1329 Sussex. Cameras are on 32 cars.
11085, we're good. We're in the woods.
Seriously. OEM 1's going to be on scene for the drone.
93, you at DPW?
It's firm. All clear.
Yeah, hold on a sec. We're walking up to you.
Okay, I found the video. I had it bookmarked. It should be here now. Here it is.
A response from authorities that could be a major response from authorities that could be related to an incident involving a drone. It is happening in Hillsborough, New Jersey. Fox 5's Stephanie Bertini is live from that scene. Stephanie, obviously so much frustration about what is even happening in the skies above us. So this might be a big answer.
Yeah, Bianca, I talked to several people who tell us they heard a drone crash somewhere behind where I'm standing. We're working to get that information confirmed with officials. Our chopper has been flying over the area this morning. Here's some video. We're showing you that view from above. We're in a shopping plaza in Hillsborough, just off Route 206. First responders have been here all morning, including Hillsborough police, a lot of onlookers. I talked to one woman who says her concerns are growing, calling all the recent drone activity activity very bizarre. She says she heard the drone crash happened overnight here, but she says that she's seen several, what she believes are drones anyway, flying around her home. She says she lives not too far from where we're live right now. Now, we've reported on these drone concerns in New Jersey. Some experts have said the sightings could very well be lawfully manned aircrafts today. We're hearing from officials on Staten Island about the same topic. Take a listen.
You know, there's a saying that we had after 9/11, if you see something, say something. I think that's become, if you see something, don't worry about it, because we saw it too. And the people of Staten Island deserve answers. The people of this city and state and region deserve answers of what the heck is going on.
So we've heard from the FBI, and the FBI says there's no reason to believe that these recent possible drone sightings pose a national security threat. Now, in terms of what we're getting from local officials, we're being told we're going to get an update this afternoon at some point, Bianca, in terms of what they've been looking at here. Back to you inside.
Yeah, it's so interesting because they say it poses no threat, but they can't tell you what it is.
Yeah.
So many questions surrounding this, Stephanie.
Yeah, they have no idea. And this is back in September. Elon Musk posted this: epic drone wars coming. What did he know? I mean, I believe he was responding to the Chinese drone swarms and Chinese drone technology at the time. But he put this out months ago, before the current drone psyop over New Jersey. Wait for the prepackaged solution from this latest government manufactured crisis to come in the form of Elon's Starshield and Peter Thiel's Planetar. A drone reportedly crash landed in Hillsborough Township, and a search is underway. Okay, there's actually better video I'm trying to get for you. I had it bookmarked, but there was actually somebody on the ground that had the footage. Drone crash. Let's see if we can get that.
Wells Hillsborough agencies are involved in an investigation in Hillsborough, New Jersey, as to a possible drone landing that happened yesterday. The search is ongoing right now in an area between or just off of Route 206 in Hillsborough near Falcon Road, and we can see a staging area by Somerset County hazardous material units, some other county officials, as well as Hillsborough agencies as well. We also understand the FBI is aware of the incident. Again, this is a search ongoing. It is primarily happening in a wooded area just adjacent to a shopping center, again in the area of Route 206 in Falcon Road. At this point, officials are not able to make any other statements as to the status of this investigation and what details that are known at this time and what they're able to share. But there we can see some of the firefighters that have been walking around in an area, again, just off of Route 206 near Falcon Road. We have seen them doing basically a wide area search on foot, as well as several all-terrain vehicles ongoing in this area. Agencies are involved in an investigation in Hillsborough.
So, I mean,
Jersey,
this is what we got to deal with.
Drone landing
There's so much happening.
That happened yesterday.
It's hard to really separate the fact from fiction. Clearly, the White House, the Pentagon, they're not giving us any answers. They're saying we got to go to Congress. You got people out there shooting them, literally shooting at drones now. You got President Trump saying they should be shot down. Tim Burchett the other day saying they should be shot down. Mayorkas is clueless. I mean, the entire administration is clueless. Elon Musk forewarning of a drone war back in September. It's like one thing after another. I mean, this could all just be designed to just keep us in a state of panic, in a state of fear, so that we submit to whatever crazy thing that they decide to throw at us next. You know, while we're distracted with this, what else are they doing? Right? These are all the questions we have to continually ask, because this is serious, widespread mass hysteria that's taking place. And it's actually happening on quite a wide scale. When you have a congressman that's coming forward and he's saying that this is Iranian, and then you've got all these different media outlets that are all covering it at the mainstream media level, this all could be a major psyop. So what are they doing and why? So just pay close attention. You know, this could be something to distract us big time. And we're just, you know, just a few more weeks until Donald Trump takes office and all this is happening, right? And you got crazy videos like this showing up. What is it? Is it a rain dot that someone's recording through a window at a rain dot? Or is it something legit? You know? Here's the pilot. Here's the pilot reporting mysterious lights. This is 11 hours ago. This is in Oregon now.
Air traffic control.
Red in color, moving at extreme speeds. I don't even know how to describe how fast he's moving.
You are cleared to maneuver as necessary, left and right, to avoid the UFO out there.
This is Joe communicating with air traffic control while he was piloting that live flight call to the North Bend, Coos Bay area. And the UFO in question, if you look closely on your screen, that little red dot that floats in and out of the video.
That was the one that was at our altitude that would come up to us and sit for about 3 to 5 seconds, and then it would go back out over the ocean, over the horizon.
He and his crew witnessed this mysterious object continue this odd behavior for more than 20 miles away for about 20 minutes total. This came after a United Airlines flight reported seeing similar mysterious objects zipping through the sky, ranging between 30,000 and 50,000 feet in altitude.
We're seeing 3 or 4 targets. You know, they're all altitudes, up and down. It's pretty crazy.
One researcher suggests it's a light bouncing off a Starlink satellite over the Pacific Ocean, catching the eye of pilots, something that's reportedly happened before. But Joe says this ain't that.
I don't think Starlink, like I said, satellites don't typically change directions. But then again, I could be wrong, but I honestly don't think it was. I've never seen a satellite move like that.
I reached out to the Federal Aviation Administration to see if they can confirm this UFO sighting. They kept it short and sweet, saying a pilot saw unidentified lights. The good news is it's not believed Joe or his crew were in any danger as they continued to fly down to Coos Bay and back up to their station in Aurora. But the mysterious object popped up on his traffic collision avoidance system. He says that's not something that a light reflection can do.
TCAS works off a transponder code. So for something to register, it was registering like an aircraft. So the weird thing is we were seeing it as an aircraft inside the aircraft, but ATC wasn't showing it on their radar.
Whatever it was, Joe and many others hope they can get clear answers. Reporting in Eugene, I'm Aaron Ariano.
So the evidence is undeniable. These aren't just random sightings. There could be a coordinated campaign that's spreading across the nation. From New Jersey to Oregon, from military bases to civilian airspace, something unprecedented is happening in our skies. The government's response, a mix of denial, deflection, and disturbing silence. So here's what should keep you up at night. If these are hostile drones, why hasn't a single one been shot down? If they're ours, why the cover-up? And if they're something else entirely, well, that's where the story takes an even darker turn. So what do you think? Are we witnessing a foreign power's show of force, or a deep state psychological operation, or something far more mysterious? Share your theories in the comments below. And while you're pondering that, grab your exclusive MAGAvengers gear at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com, because when the truth is under attack, we stand vigilant. Wow. Crazy, crazy days indeed. A lot of activity in the chat room during that segment. I tried to bring up as many of your super chats that were relevant during it. I'm Trash Bra. Pamphlets falling from the sky. How to serve man. Yeah. Twilight Zone indeed. Why would a foreign adversary put blinking lights if it's designed to be stealth, right? Black Clover Digital. It's aliens, Gary, says Alex Bleeping Jones. Genius by birth. I think dismissing what Mayorkas was saying is a mistake. He's telling us to need more authority over this. Patriot Act 2.0, false flag incoming. Interesting way to see between the lines. Genius by birth. Very well observed. Viv B, thank you, Viv, for gifting 5 Next News Network memberships. How cool is that? We have 6 new members to welcome, everybody. All right, welcome to the club. Yes, we got RTW, George A, Donald Strickland, 3%er, and Can gifted memberships. Whistling Peephole, how much is Israel taking? How much land Israel taking right now? I don't know. I heard there was a nation, a part of Syria that asked to be annexed by Israel. That happened today. Mary Mac11 just donated $2. Thank you very much for your super chat. Okay, we got more news to get to. Let's get at it because time is short and we have to keep on point. All right. What you're about to see isn't just another policy proposal, it's a revolution in government disguised as reform. While the media obsesses over tweets, Trump's Department of Government Efficiency is preparing the largest bureaucratic purge in American history. Wall Street is already celebrating. Wait till we show you what happened. But here's what they're not telling you. Doge isn't just about cutting waste. It's about dismantling decades of deep state infrastructure. The proof? Well, look who's suddenly writing checks to Trump's inauguration fund. Even big tech billionaires can read the writing on the wall. Now, America, here's something the bloated government bureaucracy doesn't want you to know. You can take control of your appearance without their overpriced regulations and red tape. While Doge prepares to slash government waste, you can slash years off your appearance with BioTrust's revolutionary collagen formula. Just like Trump's efficiency plan targets every department, this formula targets all 5 critical types of collagen. Visit healthwithgary.com for 51% off plus free VIP coaching and free skin health guide and our 60-day guarantee. That's healthwithgary.com because efficiency starts with you. We thank our donors and our sponsors for keeping this show going. So, a lot of news to get to in this segment. We have the border czar, Tom Homan. He is making the rounds. He just had this to say on Fox News about arresting. If I can arrest citizens for harboring illegal aliens, why can't I arrest politicians? Oh, yeah, you got to love it. Listen to this.
Some made him. So you will not only go after the illegal migrants, you may go after some mayors who aren't helping.
If they step over that line, they can sit back and watch us, which I find incredible. You don't want to take public safety threats out of your community and help us. But there are laws on the books that we will prosecute. It's 18 U.S.C. 111, impeding a federal law enforcement officer is a felony. Title 8 United States Code 1324 III. If you knowingly conceal or harbor an illegal alien from ICE, that is a felony. When I was an agent a long time ago, I've arrested U.S. citizens for harboring an alien in their home or place of employment. If I can do it to a citizen, why can't I do it to a politician who's going to actively get in our way, prevent us from doing our job?
Yeah, him. So
buckle
you
up,
will
folks.
not only
Buckle up. And Peter Thiel, he was an early investor in PayPal. He's a friend of Elon Musk. In fact, years ago when I ran the Revolution Super PAC, he donated a large amount to our Super PAC so we could support Congressman Paul. Well, he said this: the consensus in Washington is that Doge is going nowhere. But
Elon, we all know the strong consensus view in the DC establishment is that this is going to go nowhere, that it's just absolutely impossible to fix things. And this is, it's going to be sort of a very, very frustrating dead end. The alternate view, I would say, is, you should never bet against Elon. We all know there's an extraordinary amount of waste, and it is unsustainable. And the 6% of GDP deficits that the U.S. has cannot be sustained. They probably cannot even be sustained for, even the rest of this decade. There are 2 ways to resolve them. You can cut spending and cut waste, or you can raise taxes massively. And I take this election in the U.S. for standing for the proposition we're not going to go the European-style socialist route of having massive tax hikes. And then that suggests, you need to try something like the Doge thing, and that's actually what is going to happen.
He says, don't bet against Elon Musk. DC residents say they were not fans of Doge until they learned how the government spends their tax dollars. Here's Fox on this point.
Do you think fans of Doge, but when the Fox News at Night team asked them about government spending tonight, we got some revealing answers.
Do you think the government spends too much money?
Of course.
Yeah. Well, by definition, right?
Do you think the government spends too much money?
That's a loaded question.
The government recently spent $750K to study whether if it was one small step for man or one small step for a man, the moon landing. How does that make you feel?
I would wonder how in the world they spent that money.
Stupid.
Good use of your taxpayer money?
No, absolutely not.
I mean, aside from whether they should have spent it, how do you spend $750,000 on that question?
$1 million to study if cocaine makes Japanese quail more sexually promiscuous.
Quail to birds? Absolutely not. No, they're not doing that.
Stupid. Why not? Who cares?
$100K to study if tequila or gin makes sunfish more aggressive.
Sunfish? Wow.
Who cares? It's $100K compared to the what? How much is our military spending on?
Good use of taxpayer dollars?
Not a good use of my money.
Fans of Doge.
Wow. Now we're learning this. $13 million from your taxes to fund an Arabic version of Sesame Street for the Middle East. $13 million for an Arabic version of Sesame Street. Yeah, time to cancel that. But Donald Trump a day ago, he just became the first president since Ronald Reagan to ring in the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange. The crowd screaming, USA, and we love you, Donald. Fun there, isn't it? Yeah. President Trump and Melania Trump walk around the trading floor of the New York Stock Exchange. So thankful we're about to have a first lady with class and style again. Look at that. How beautiful.
Love you, President Trump. Thank you. Thank you, President Trump. Guys.
Thank you.
What's up, man? How are you? Good to see you, man.
You don't have to return my call.
Wow. Okay, we've got more traders on the floor. We're pumped to see Donald Trump. The market's going wild.
What's up, guys? It's 9:48. Shouldn't you be making money? JD, all our guys filled the seat. I mean, this is it. What's up, guys? How we doing? Anybody who's our guy, you're our guy. This is it. You are our guy. What's up, guys?
You are our guy. And speaking of New York City Mayor Eric Adams should put the press in their place. He just met with Tom Homan. We've been covering the chatter of that. We knew it was about to happen. Well, now it has officially happened in the media. He held a press conference, and he knows the media's game. They've turned against him. This is what he had to say.
Would I answer a few questions, and then I am leaving because it's not going to matter what I respond to anyway. You have your preconceived thoughts already.
Wow.
First of all, I do not have a preconceived thought. I want you to know that right from the start.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mayor Adams, he's not taking any crap from the press anymore. And here's a photograph from that meeting. Mayor Eric Adams meeting with Tom Homan. The largest deportation effort in U.S. history begins in just 39 days. Now, we covered this at the end of our last live stream. This was some really awesome news. Carrie Lake is now going to lead the Voice of America. Voice of America News is a vital international media outlet dedicated to advancing the interests of the United States by engaging directly with people across the globe, promoting democracy and truth. Over 300 million people tune into Voice of America. Now, there was talk that she was going to go to maybe Newsmax or something like that, which I think would have been a downgrade for her. There was even talk of her going to be the ambassador to Mexico. But in a position like this, with her America First agenda, her friendship with Donald Trump, her political savvy, everything that she's learned through the political process coming from the media herself. She was a reporter and a journalist in Arizona, to lead a massive media organization, the Voice of America, is good. So, I mean, the influence that she's going to have to help spread Donald Trump's America First agenda across the world, it's going to be amazing to witness. Trump to Wall Street, we are cutting your taxes. We're going to cut them very substantially. Let's listen.
Middle of the pack. We're going to put it straight. We're going to give tremendous incentive like no other country has. We're cutting your taxes. We're going to cut them very substantially. We got them down to 21% from probably 42 or 44%, depending on where you are. And we got them down to 21. Everyone said that was a miracle. Now we're getting them down to 15, but only if you make your product here. Otherwise, you pay 21, which is not bad. It's in the middle of the pack. But 15 brings you down to among the lowest. And we're going to... Now,
he was there, as you see on screen, he was being honored by Time Magazine, too. He's been named the Man of the Year yet again. An absolute honor for that. And then we have this. This is really interesting, okay? Amazon billionaire Jeff Bezos has joined Meta's Mark Zuckerberg in donating $1 million to President Trump's inauguration fund. Officer Liu says, kiss the ring, and CNN is actually reporting on this. I mean, the fact that Jeff Bezos of the Washington Post, I mean, the hatred that comes out of that paper, he's the owner of it. And remember, Bezos told the Washington Post there was a massive revolt, and they said, we're not going to endorse any candidate in this election. And everybody at the Post freaked out. There was mass defections. They lost about 200,000 subscribers. People were up in arms. People were quitting in mass. And now he's donating $1 million. So think about what this means. Because, okay, this is the second term of President Trump, and they know that the gloves are off this time. So let's listen. Who is this? Is this Caitlin Collins? Oh, boy.
Founded by Mark Zuckerberg. I have new reporting that Amazon, founded by the tech billionaire Jeff Bezos, is expected to donate $1 million toward Donald Trump's inauguration fund. This, as Bezos himself is expected to visit Trump in person in the coming days down in South Florida. And this is news that comes just one day after we learned that Meta, Facebook's parent company and founded by Mark Zuckerberg, also gave $1 million to Trump's fund. Both tech billionaires have their own histories with Donald Trump, but it appears that they are leaving all of that behind, maybe even taking a page out of Elon Musk's playbook. Of course, he himself spent over $250 million supporting Trump's campaign, catapulting himself directly into the president-elect's orbit. Now, with only 39 days to go until Trump is back in office, we are seeing the billionaire...
You know what I think is funny? You got Elon Musk and Bezos both giving $1 million. I think they're jealous. They are jealous of Elon Musk and all the attention he's getting hanging out with Donald Trump all day long at Mar-a-Lago, and they just get to watch from the sidelines. Well, maybe, Zuck, if you weren't censoring conservatives and deleting President Trump off of Facebook, and maybe Bezos, if your Washington Post wasn't trashing Trump all day, maybe it'd had a better chance. So I guess you think that money is going to be the solution here. We're also learning this, some more good news. Boise State has closed their DEI and gender equity centers while the students were away on Thanksgiving break. Oh boy, I bet you they were all freaking out.
DEI. Boise State University has joined the trend of discarding their DEI programs and offices on campus. At least that's according to an email sent out Tuesday. The gender and student equity centers are gone. They closed them over Thanksgiving break, only telling students about it yesterday. This seems to be in response to a resolution Idaho's State Board of Education is still considering to restrict diversity, equity, and inclusion programs on college campuses. I say seems to be a response because we can't seem to get a response from the school to do an interview with us to confirm it. Well, here's what that resolution looks like. That draft resolution would make it so no central office, policy, procedure, or initiative can be dedicated to DEI unless those things are needed to comply with, say, things like NCAA, accreditation, or to be eligible for grants and scholarships. State board trustees have made no decision on this resolution, nor do we know if or when they will. But that
bye-bye. Another win for conservatives as the woke agenda continues to crumble. Elon Musk. Why some House Democrats are showing interest in Trump and Musk's Doge plan. Elon Musk thinks that's pretty cool. Yes, we've already been reporting on that. There's quite a few Democrats, including Bernie Sanders, coming on board with the Doge. But this was just posted by the Western Lensman. I think it gives a really good snapshot of what Doge is all about if you don't know.
An ever-growing bureaucracy. Our nation was founded on the basic idea that the people we elect run the government. That isn't how America functions today. Most legal edicts aren't laws enacted by Congress, but rules and regulations promulgated by unelected bureaucrats. Tens of thousands of them each year. The entrenched and ever-growing bureaucracy represents an existential threat to our republic, and politicians have abetted it for too long. That's why Doge is doing things differently. Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are entrepreneurs, not politicians. They will serve as outside volunteers, not federal officials or employees. Unlike government commissions or advisory committees, they won't just write reports or cut ribbons. They'll cut costs. They will liberate individuals and businesses from illicit regulations never passed by Congress, stimulate the U.S. economy, and generate prosperity for the American people. Now is the moment to deliver a government that would make our founders proud. Now is the moment for decisive action. Now is the moment for Doge.
Coming soon, Western Lensman publishing that. How cool. How exciting. I can't wait for it to come into play. Oh, and then Donald Trump posted this, right? Elon Musk said, haha, amazing. How it started and how it's going. It started with a mugshot and ended with the cover of Time Magazine, Person of the Year. Donald Trump posting that. Absolutely epic. That is a post for the ages. That deserves to be printed and framed and put on the wall. Right there. Oh, and speaking of Doge, did you know that now they might actually go after and arrest Elon Musk? Yeah. He's going to cut all the fat in government spending, but the Security and Exchange Commission is giving Musk this is 9 hours ago, 48-hour ultimatum. Agree to a monetary settlement or face charges for alleged securities fraud. At the center of this is Musk's purchase of a significant amount of Twitter shares before revealing his plan to buy the platform outright, a move they say smells like insider trading. This is not the only heat Musk is facing. The SEC has also reopened investigation into Neuralink, his brain chip venture. Adding more fuel to the fire, Musk lawyer Alex Spiro claims that this is just another chapter in the SEC's years of harassment, calling the agency's action a misguided scheme. As of now, Musk has not budged on the settlement demand, and the clock is ticking. Will the SEC finally hold him accountable, or is this just another empty threat? We will see. This is according to Barron's, AP, and Business Insider. So they are going after Elon Musk right now. He might be arrested in 48 hours. As he's getting ready to cut the fat in government. I'm sure the timing isn't a coincidence. And speaking of cutting the fat, Ryan Saavedra, we covered this in an exclusive report a couple weeks ago, but daylight savings time, people don't like it. I don't like it. I can't stand when we have to change the clocks and it gets dark earlier. Ryan Saavedra says daylight savings time needs to be made permanent. What needs to be eliminated is the switch back and forth, get rid of it, and stick with daylight savings. And Donald Trump posting this. The Republican Party will use its best efforts to eliminate daylight savings time, which has a small but strong constituency, but daylight savings time is inconvenient and very costly to our nation. So I'm glad to see that Donald Trump is for getting rid of it, getting rid of standard time and sticking with daylight savings. How beautiful. This is the email that came from American Muck. Elon Musk is expected to be indicted by the DOJ and SEC for securities fraud today or over the weekend, according to a lawyer. This is the email that was sent by American muckraker David B. Wheeler to Alex Spiro. Mr. Spiro, I understand your client, Mr. Elon Musk, is going to be indicted today or over the weekend for securities fraud. Can you please confirm and provide a comment from your client? So this is something we're going to keep a close eye on. And speaking of, Ashton Forbes, in our last segment, he had this to say with respect to daylight savings times. He said, where'd it go? The right move is to make daylight savings time permanent. I want sunlight in the evening, not at 6 or 7 a.m. The sun goes down at 4 in the winter here in Minnesota, and it sucks. Trump is announcing that the Republican Party will work towards abolishing daylight savings time. Laura Logan posting this 9 hours ago. Now, see, they're terrified of Robert F. Kennedy joining Health and Human Services. And apparently, I didn't know this, but Trump is going to nominate Kennedy's daughter-in-law as the deputy CIA director. David Axelrod is freaking out. He's a deep state Democrat insider, Obama lackey advisor. And he says Trump's going to nominate Kennedy's daughter-in-law as deputy CIA director so she can explore his theories about that, what you see on the screen. Because why? Because there's not enough going on in the world right now? Well, people want answers for those certain moments in history, and we deserve those answers. Kash Patel has said that he's going to bring those answers forward. There's going to be certain lists from people that are going to be disclosed, lists from people that didn't do certain things, right? Well, we're going to find out soon enough. And with the Doge going into effect and the border czar taking action, we have a lot to look forward to. But I think the most concerning element here is that they might be arresting Elon Musk in the next 48 hours. So keep your eyes open. So the revolution isn't coming, Patriots. It's here. Trump's Department of Government Efficiency isn't just another agency. It's a precision-guided missile aimed at the heart of the deep state. From Arabic Sesame Street to gender equity centers, no wasteful program is safe. Wall Street knows it. Big tech fears it. And the bureaucrats, well, they're updating their resumes. But here's the question that's keeping D.C. insiders awake at night. When Trump's efficiency blitzkrieg hits Washington, will there be anything left of the administrative state? And more importantly, should there be? Let us know in the comments below. What government department you think the Doge treatment is deserved first? And while the swamp drains, show your support with our exclusive Mag Avengers collection at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com because efficiency never looked so good. All right. Let's see. Debbie Muddyman, $20. What's up, Debbie? Thank you for that. Thank you for that super chat. And then Jay Light, welcome to the club, Jay Light. Round of applause for Jay Light becoming a member. Pearl Last in Canadian dollars, $2.79. Brian, where were you on that applause, man? Where were you? Oh, he's trying to do his other work. He doesn't want to press buttons for me. He's telling me I got to get another button pad over here and I got to reprogram it. Okay, we'll do it. We'll make it happen. Just, maybe if we get enough super chats tonight. How much is that thing? How much is that thing? Well, maybe we can raise the money tonight. We can buy it. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, and then Jay Light also. Oh, upgraded their membership. Cool. What did he upgrade to? Jay Light. Right on. I'm not sure, but we'll find out. We got 7 new members today. Exciting indeed. The Patriot Apologist has become an operative. Welcome, Patriot Apologist. There we go. Okay, checking on the viewer activity. It normally would show up here on my screen. Maybe this computer is just lagging. Oh, there it is. Okay. Member upgrade. Okay, so J Light upgraded membership to Commander. Welcome to the Commander level, J Light. All right. Okay, we got some more news to get to in this evening. Oh yes, this is kind of a hodgepodge of all kinds of crazy going on that I just kind of threw it all on one basket today. But it's worth every minute of your time, so don't go anywhere. Tonight, we are witnessing something unprecedented. The simultaneous collapse of government at every level. In Chicago, the mayor literally runs away from his own budget vote while the chamber erupts in chaos. In Washington, we finally have proof of what we have been telling you about January 6th. 26 FBI informants now confirmed. And now, Nancy Pelosi, one of the architects of the January 6th committee and architects of our broken system, takes a literal fall in Luxembourg. Yeah, she is not in good condition right now. You can't make this stuff up, folks. But here's what the party doesn't want you to see. This isn't just failure. It's a controlled demolition of American institutions. As America's power grid strains under incompetent leadership, smart patriots are taking control of their own comfort and security. That's why I trust this incredible portable heater from StayWarmNow.com. While politicians leave their citizens in the cold, this compact powerhouse keeps you warm without breaking the bank. It's everything our government isn't: efficient, reliable, and actually works for the people. Don't let system failure leave you freezing. Visit StayWarmNow.com for up to 60% off and free shipping. That's StayWarmNow.com, because when the system fails, preparation prevails. Okay, so wild stuff happening all across the nation, all across the world. We're going to start in Chicago. Mayor Brandon Johnson called off his budget vote today, which included 11 tax and fee hikes totaling $233 million. A tax hike, $233 million. Another stunning defeat for the mayor and his political muscle in Chicago Teachers Union, and a great victory for average Chicagoans. Mayor Johnson plans to call off the budget vote. Johnson's decision to delay the budget vote is acknowledging the spending plan would hike property taxes $68.5 million. Chicagoans are paying outrageous property taxes, and he wants to raise it even more. Also, on a host of other taxes by an additional $165 million, and he doesn't have enough votes to pass it. Well, it went down today in that city council meeting. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, let's go Brandon, has called off Friday's already delayed final vote. The place erupts as he walks away. This is disgusting. You're embarrassing, and you're a coward. We got the video. Let's go to that. I'm going to bring it up so you can see it better. Here we go.
This meeting is recessed until December 16th at 1 p.m.
You are disgusting. Please, you're embarrassing. You're a coward.
This meeting is recessed until
People
December 16th.
are furious with the way that this city of Chicago is being run. They have just had enough. And now, 5 hours ago, we're learning, according to the New York Post, a government watchdog report reveals that the FBI spied on its incoming director and future boss, Kash Patel. Just like they spied on President Trump back in 2016, remember? And he's like, they spied on me, they spied on me. Well, they're spying on Kash Patel because they're terrified of what he's going to do. Now, Kash Patel apparently has the support of the rank and file FBI, but those on the 8th floor, no, not so much. And here's this. This is huge news. Okay, this came out just 24 hours ago. Inspector General report has just revealed there were at least 26 FBI informants on the Capitol grounds on January 6th, and at least 3 of them entered the Capitol building. We have been lied to. It is time for accountability. Let's listen to this report from Fox.
That exactly were they doing? And in fact, some of them, as we learned from this report, entered the restricted area, went into the Capitol, where they inciting anything? Were they enticing anyone to go with them? I really would love to know what exactly they were saying to the people in the groups that they were part of. I also think it's interesting that this report comes out the day after Chris Wray resigns. It seems to me that he may not have wanted to contend with the questions that, of course, are going to emerge from everything that we're learning today. And the other point I'd like to make is something that David Spunch just raised, where he said that Matthew Graves, who's the U.S. attorney here in Washington, D.C., did not prosecute any of those confidential human sources, spies, that did enter the Capitol that day. And his office, Graves' office, did put out a statement and said that they did not generally prosecute anyone who just went into the Capitol and didn't commit other crimes. My question there is, what does generally mean? How did they make those decisions? And why weren't those particular paid spies part of that group?
The 23 confidential human sources, just reading through this, Carrie, 3 of them entered the Capitol during the riot. An additional 11 entered the restricted area around the Capitol, to your point. Based on what we have learned so far in the details of this report, how would you characterize the findings?
Well, it's very interesting. I think it's especially interesting given that people who some of them were just, I think, internet sleuths and the like, have been talking about this for years. And it was only, I think, a couple of years ago that a DOJ attorney in court made the admission that some of these people were present that day. But if you remember, anyone who even raised the possibility that there were paid FBI spies part of what happened, who were part of what happened on January 6th, they were deemed crazy, conspiracy theorists, and the like. Now, look, confidential human sources are a law enforcement tool that are used in all kinds of situations, and we know that some of these people were apparently part of the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers. But again, why so many? What were they doing? What were the conversations they were having? And if they were, in fact, according to the IG and the FBI, not authorized to be there, then why weren't they prosecuted like everybody else who were prosecuted for similar issues?
On that point, you and I were talking about this off camera. So far, as of August, 1,488 people who were there on January the 6th have been charged with some sort of an offense. 894 of those people have pled guilty to various offenses. 288 pled guilty to felonies. 606 pled guilty to misdemeanors. Yet none of these confidential informants were charged with anything.
Right, so you have to wonder, what were the conversations that were happening behind the scenes? And something else that came out in this report was that the confidential human sources, apparently the information they were providing to the FBI was no different than what everyone else was providing. Like, hey, January 6th, there might be some violence, there might be a thing. So there wasn't any, apparently it sounds like there wasn't anything special that they were revealing. And, you know, again, the questions are, what were those confidential human sources who were, quote, not encouraged or directed to be there by the FBI? What were they saying to the other people in their groups?
Like Ray Epps, we're going to the Capitol. After the speech, go this way. We're going to the Capitol. Everyone follow me. This way, this way.
The reason I keep raising that is because if, in fact, there were conversations occurring like, hey, let's go in there, let's do that, let's do this. You know, entrapment is a defense. You know, if a government agent induces you to commit a crime.
I didn't know she was going to say that.
A defendant can raise that in the court of law and say, look, I was trapped into doing something. I was enticed into doing something by the government I otherwise wouldn't have done. Now, the government's response based on this report would probably be, well, they weren't authorized by the government to be there at the time. But then, of course, a question for a judge would be, well, could they have been perceived still as an agent of the government, given that they were, you know, this confidential human source? What did the defendant know about them and their role at the time? I just think this report raises more questions, but certainly at a minimum, gives some credibility to people who have been saying this for so many years.
And I assume that we're never going to learn the names or the identities of the confidential informants. So that will leave open the question as to who it was. We got
exactly where they.
Well, I think with Donald Trump in power now, we might be seeing some very different things going on. We got this report as well. Nancy Pelosi fell down a set of stairs and broke her hip in Luxembourg. That's according to the New York Times. Colin Rugg says your country is controlled by nursing home patients. The incident happened days after the elderly Mitch McConnell fell. This is video of Pelosi and Biden. I mean, look at that shuffle. I mean, it's just sad. These are the people that are supposedly running this country. He writes, this apparently from the Times, Miss Pelosi tripped. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing. Miss Pelosi tripped during going down marble stairs at the Grand Ducal Palace and took a hard fall. According to a person familiar with the incident who was not authorized to comment, spoke on a condition of anonymity. People close to Pelosi in California speaking on a condition of anonymity because we are not authorized to speak for her, said the former speaker, fractured her hip when she fell. You know there's video. You know somebody got that on camera. It's there. And I hope to God that it is published. Somebody, please, can we see that? Can we play it on repeat? Like we saw Joe Biden falling up the stairs? And speaking of traitors in our own government, Lisa Murkowski is whining. She's whining about how she and Joni Ernst are being held accountable and how unfair it is. They might be primaried if they don't support President Trump's nominee. Oh, so sad. Now, I should point out, Lisa Murkowski, if you guys don't know this truth about her, she was actually appointed by her father to take that Senate seat, and she's held it ever since. Okay, she didn't actually win an election to get that position. Now, she's won subsequent elections, but her initial placement there was a tap by her father. Pure nepotism. This woman does not deserve to be post in that position at all. I mean, she has been a thorn in the side of Donald Trump for years. She is clearly a neocon rhino Republican, and she needs to be primaried regardless of how she stands on Trump's nominees. But apparently she's whining now. She's whining. This is from Western Lensman posting this video.
But I think it's going to be hard, quite honestly. I think it's going to be hard in these next 4 years because you have an administration coming in that has had an opportunity to kind of see how things work, what didn't work, and now we've had 4 years to think about it. And the approach is going to be everybody toe the line. Everybody line up. We got you here, and if you want to survive, you better be good. Don't get on Santa's naughty list here because we will primary you. And my friend Joni Ernst, who is probably one of the more conservative, principled Republican leaders.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen her work with George Floyd and BLM? Joni Ernst? She deserves to be primaried regardless, too.
In the Senate right now is being hung out to dry for not being good enough. And you're going to get primaried.
Good.
Well, you know, what's this all about? Why are we doing this to ourselves? So I think we're getting a little bit of a preview now of what it's going to mean to be allegiant to party. And I don't think that that's going to help us as a Republican Party, believe it or not. And I think it's going to energize and charge up the Democrats to say, all right, the Republicans are going to overreach, they're going to overreact, and so we're going to have an opportunity. But I think
come
it's
on.
Be hard.
Oh, yeah, she thinks the Democrats are going to capitalize on the fact that we're going to try to primary you? Listen to the fear tactics from her. Oh, my goodness, the Democrats are going to see a weakness. Oh, yeah. No. Murkowski, gone. Ernst, gone. You don't toe the line? Gone. All right? You get the memo? Yeah, it's right on your desk. Get with the program or get out of the way. These people, man. Kristen Megan, a longtime friend of mine, she had this to say 8 hours ago. She posted this, and I want to bring it to your attention. Every single person should be paying attention to what's happening in Michigan right now. It's absolutely disgusting what the unhinged Democrats are doing during their lame duck session before they lose the majority in the House. And she was quote tweeting Matt Maddock. Lame Duck Live, every business has a freight train aimed at them. Michigan Democrats refuse to fix paid sick leave and tipped workers and instead want gas and registration increase and tampons in boys' bathrooms and licenses for illegals. That is what the state of Michigan is working on right now. Okay, so pay attention. And as we said, Pelosi fractured her hip. Thoughts and prayers to Nancy Pelosi. And this is in Biden's America. A woman laughs as she steals toilet paper from a CVS. This is still going on. We're still seeing just rampant looting, but this is all going to come to an end.
All right, put that down. Stupid. I might as well just put that down.
Who's opening his door?
What?
Open the door.
All right, put that down.
Okay.
You go ahead and put it over there.
You have activated our door control. Don't touch me. You don't have the right to touch me. No, not on my kids.
Put my kids away. Call them.
No,
Call them.
you
Call them. Call
can't
them.
touch me, though.
Call them then. Go ahead, call them.
Whoa.
Go ahead, put that down.
Come on, y'all this way. I'm just
Stupid.
Look at that.
I might as well just put that down.
Who's opening his door?
What?
Open the door.
All right, put that down.
Okay.
You go ahead and put it over there.
You have activated our door control. Don't touch me. You don't have the right to touch me. No, not on my kids.
Put my kids away. Call them.
No,
Call them. Call them.
you
Call
can't
them.
touch me, though.
Call them then.
I mean, this is still going on all over the country. Pelosi falling, of course. We just covered that. It's a disgrace how criminals feel so empowered. You know, years ago, I used to work as a loss prevention officer for a major retailer a long time ago. And there were certain rules you couldn't do certain things. Like, for example, she was like, open the door. Well, they closed the door. They locked the door. They must have disabled it because she was still able to get out. You can't lock the door on somebody. Even if they're a thief, you could still be charged with like kidnapping, right? You can't touch them because they can, make all kinds of allegations. But the fact that this is still happening in this country, it's a cancer on society. And I hope that law and order certainly returns. And here we have Elizabeth Warren. She's out there fear-mongering right now. She had this to say goodbye to your smile and say hello to polio. That's what's on the horizon if Robert F. Kennedy Jr. becomes the Secretary of Health and Human Services. Absolute fear-mongering from Pocahontas. Listen in.
Doesn't believe. Say goodbye to your smile and say hello to polio. I would laugh if it weren't so scary. Donald Trump just picked RFK Jr. to lead the Department of Health and Human Services. This is a man who wants to stop kids from getting their polio and measles shots. He's actually welcoming a return to polio, a disease we nearly eradicated. But it doesn't stop there. RFK Jr. also doesn't believe fluoride should be in your water, and that's what keeps your teeth from rotting. You can't make this stuff up. Say goodbye to your smile.
Yeah, so she's absolutely fear-mongering, and that post did get a community note. Rate proposed community notes. Now, you guys, because we're on my X account, you have the ability to see what I see. Because if you look on the screen, it tells you, it says, this is a rate proposed community note. Only visible to contributors, because we can now, Next News Network has the ability to rate community notes. I've been doing that actively. And this is what's on the record here. Senator Warren is making a false statement. The lawyer in question and his client have clearly explained that the lawyer is not representing RFK Jr., but I can. More explanation from the lawyer on why the senator and New York Times article promoting the same falsehood is wrong. So Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, is straight up fear-mongering her base, trying to whip up a frenzy against RFK Jr. It's time to get fluoride out of water. It was a long time. Okay. Now, we've got this. Harrison Smith posted this 8 hours ago. Harrison Smith, he works with Alex Jones and InfoWars. And he asked the question, is Nancy Pelosi faking a hip injury while overseas to avoid arrest by Trump? Fani Willis was just forced to admit that she was in communication with Pelosi during the politicized prosecution of Trump. And here we have Tom Fitton laying it out.
Well, Fani Willis just confessed to having records of her communications with the January 6th Pelosi operation, the Get Trump operation. She only confessed to this yesterday thanks to a Judicial Watch lawsuit. Of course, when we first sued and began asking for these records, they told us they had no records. Well, it turns out that wasn't true. In fact, the only reason we got the confession yesterday was because a court last week found her in default. She didn't bother to answer the lawsuit under law as she was supposed to. But rather than turn the records over, as the court, I think, strongly suggested, she's using a loophole of exemptions and privileges to hide the records from the American people. Now, we're going to push back hard in court. Our heavy lifting will continue. But in the meantime, this really does confirm, A, she was in collusion with the Pelosi operation to get Trump. B, she has no respect for the rule of law. C, she has no respect for your right to know. Well, Fani Willis just confessed to
Fani Willis confessing. Is Pelosi trying to hide? And more madness. Okay, you guys know about the craziness going on over the White House Christmas display. Well, 10 hours ago, this was posted. This is great. Jill Biden says, "Hello, kids. Happy holidays." And a kid screams back, "Happy Christmas!"
Hi. Hello. How are you? Hi. Happy holidays. Hi. Happy Christmas. Yes.
A kid totally correcting her. Okay. Okay. We were talking about, January 6th, right? Okay. Here's this post. This was made by Thomas Massey. 12 hours ago. For years, I was called a conspiracy theorist for asking Garland, Ray, and Horowitz whether government assets participated in J6. Yesterday, I was vindicated. DOJ IG report confirms there were FBI confidential human sources in the crowd entering the Capitol and breaking laws.
They agitate. Okay, I was hoping today to give you an opportunity to put to rest the concerns that people have that there were federal agents or assets of the federal government present on January 5th and January 6th. Can you tell us, without talking about particular incidents or particular videos, how many agents or assets of the federal government were present on January 6th, whether they agitated to go into the Capitol, and if any of them did?
So I'm not going to violate this norm of the rule of law. I'm not going to comment on an investigation that's ongoing.
Now, in that video, that was your answer to a question to me 2 years ago. When I said how many agents or assets of the government were present on January 5th and January 6th and agitating in the crowd to go into the Capitol, and how many went into the Capitol. Can you answer that now?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Oh, last time, you don't know how many there were, or there were none?
I don't know the answer to either of those questions. If there were any, I don't know how many. I don't know whether there are any.
I think you may have just perjured yourself that you don't know that there were any. You want to say that again, that you don't know that there were any?
I have no personal knowledge of this matter. I think what I said last time.
You've had 2 years to find out. Were there any confidential human sources involved from the FBI or any other agency in the erection of that prop, those gallows?
I'm not aware of anything like that.
Inspector General Horowitz, over the past 3 years, I've questioned FBI Director Wray and Attorney General Merrick Garland about the federal assets, such as confidential human sources that were present on January 6th at the Capitol, and they have continuously stonewalled me. We've got no answers whatsoever about this from them. Do you have evidence of the number of confidential human sources that were operating on the Capitol grounds on January 6th?
Our report will include the information in that regard.
Can you tell us today how many there were? Were there more than 100?
I'm not in a position to say that, both because it's in draft form and we have not gone through the classification review. And so I need to be careful.
And we're 4 years, almost 4 years into this report. When is it going to be released?
It's certainly my hope and expectation, although I don't control this entirely because it has to go through a classification review, but certainly in the next couple of months is my hope.
Do you think, is there any consideration for the election about the release of this report? Would you delay it in order to not release it right before the election?
At this point, given the process that has to play out in terms of classification review and all of that, I'm not making any, I don't have to make any judgment about that. We're still.
It's called slow walking, folks.
That still has to go on. Just to give you a sense of it, when I did the Pfizer review,
you're saying it's not even going to be done in time for before the election?
It doesn't, I doubt it would be done in time for the election.
We know, what we do know is you're going to expose that there were confidential human sources at the Capitol. Can you tell us today how many went into the Capitol?
I'll have that information in the report. I'm not able to speak to information in there, both because it's in draft and we get a response from the department and the FBI, but also because I don't know yet what's classified and not classified.
Okay, so now we know there were, in fact, people on the ground going to entrap confidential sources working in the crowd on January 6th. Meanwhile, Joe Biden is racing to liquidate steel. This is coming from Nick Sortor. Liquidate steel meant to be used to completing the border wall, trucking off to auction for pennies on the dollar. Biden is actively attempting to stifle any of Trump's effort to secure the border. This is happening in real time. Nancy Pelosi, of course, suffering her injury, cancels the rest of her engagements after falling down the stairs, according to Gateway Pundit. And Democrats are now actively advocating a military coup in America. Yeah, you can't make this up. Amuse reporting that in order to save democracy, their solution is a military dictatorship.
Unconfirmed. I think that we are underrating the possibility that the military may have to coup Trump. In the past days, he has been talking about purging the military of generals and replacing them with loyalists. He is talking about deploying the military to carry out these mass deportations. And this has been unconfirmed, but NBC is reporting that Donald Trump is planning on having military tribunals for military officers who were involved in the botched Afghanistan withdrawal. The one that he orchestrated, by the way. And I guess my question is the military really just going to roll over and say, sure, parade these innocent military officers in front of a tribunal and charge them with treason? Sure. Like, are there discussions happening right now in the military? Like, hey, what do we do when Trump oversteps? Or are they just going to go along with this whole thing? I think that we are underrating the possibility that the military may have to coup Trump.
Yeah, that's the mindset of the Democrats right now. They want to coup Trump. Meanwhile, Joy Reid, one of my favorite MSNBC hosts, she's having a meltdown over Trump winning the Time Person of the Year, and she has some interesting comparisons.
Better or for worse is not much of a ringing endorsement, and we all know which one Trump falls under. And let's remember who else has been given this title in years past in the same category: Adolf Hitler, Joseph Stalin, Ayatollah Khomeini, and Vladimir Putin. In fact, Stalin won the distinction twice, just like Trump. Regardless of the company he keeps, we know how important these magazine covers are to Trump. Just look at this tour he gave the Washington Post in 2015 of his Trump Tower office, with a wall adorned with his various cover appearances. Better or for worse is not much of a ringing endorsement.
Yeah, of course she wants to compare him to Hitler, Stalin, and Putin, but it's no comparison. Jesse Waters reporting on the January 6th report. 26 confidential human sources there that day, paid rats in MAGA hats. Over a dozen spies participated in the so-called insurrection. Why didn't the FBI director tell Congress? Let's hear.
We're in D.C. on Jan. Fox News alert, the Justice Department just released the bombshell report that we've been waiting for. What actually happened on January 6th? The FBI had 26 confidential human sources there that day. 26. A confidential human source is a guy the FBI pays to spy for them. Of the 26 confidential human sources who were in D.C. on Jan 6th, 4 entered the Capitol during the riot. An additional 13 entered the restricted area around the Capitol. So more than a dozen FBI spies participated in the so-called insurrection. A bunch of them broke into the Capitol. Their own inspector general says this is what happened. But that's not what they told you when they testified under oath.
Those who were there in an undercover capacity on January 6th, how many were there?
Again, I'm not sure that I can give you that number as I sit here. I'm not sure there were undercover agents on scene.
I thought I heard you say you didn't know whether there were FBI agents or informants or human sources in the Capitol or in the vicinity on January 6th. Did I misunderstand you? I thought that's what you said.
Well, I referred very specifically to undercover agents.
Yeah. And so are you acknowledging then there were undercover agents?
As I sit here right now, I do not believe there were undercover agents on scene.
The inspector was hiding something, so Congress asked the question a different way. Listen.
Did you have confidential human sources dressed as Trump supporters inside the Capitol on January the 6th prior to the doors being open?
Again, I had to be very careful.
It should be a no. Can you not tell the American people no? We did not have confidential human sources dressed as Trump supporters positioned inside the Capitol.
Gentleman's time has expired.
You should not read anything into my decision not to share information.
Director Ray,
confidential human
gentleman's time.
Ray's right. The FBI didn't have undercover agents at January 6th. They had confidential human sources. So what's the difference? Well, a confidential human source doesn't get health insurance or a pension. They're just freelancing for the feds. Rats in MAGA hats. They're basically paid informants that the FBI runs at headquarters. A lot of these FBI rats get picked up on some other charge. They get sat down and the FBI says, you're going to work for me now. And if you don't, you're looking at 20 years to life. So these guys say, yes, sir. And they cozy up to people like the Proud Boys and anyone the feds wants to watch and control from the inside. And these confidential human sources are under pressure to deliver. What does deliver mean? It means intelligence and big busts that get the FBI good headlines. According to the Inspector General report, the spies were feeding the FBI intel that said January 6th was going to get a little hairy. But FBI headquarters did nothing about it and then lied to Congress and said they did. So why did headquarters let January 6th get so out of hand? And what were all these FBI spies doing that day and the days before? Were they riling everyone up like they did in the Gretchen Whitmer kidnapping plot? In that case, the FBI informants instigated the plot. They even used an FBI credit card to buy the ammo, supplies, and hotel rooms. Did the FBI pay for Jan 6 hotel rooms? We don't know. Remember, the media and the Democrats said this whole thing was a conspiracy.
Where do you think this idea comes from, that this was somehow done by the feds?
I heard that one of the debaters said it was an inside job. It's an inside job on the part of Donald Trump and his henchmen.
Republicans have blamed the FBI and said it was an inside job.
It certainly was not an inside job by FBI agents or Antifa. They go around blaming it on Antifa and FBI agents.
Well, how did the media know it wasn't an inside job when the FBI had 26 of their people on the inside? January 6th certainly benefited the media, the FBI and the Democrats. 1,500 arrests, humiliated Trump, got him impeached, criminalized the MAGA movement. Trump got indicted over January 6th, remember? They tried to throw him in prison over this. The January 6th committee, it's all Democrats did for 2 years. Why did...
Oh, yeah, the J6 committee is now getting totally exposed. But did you guys see this headline here? Look at this. Donald Trump Jr. Now the lunatics are coming after, wait for it, humans may be global warming by breathing, according to a new study. Yeah. So we've got that. That's the new narrative that's being pushed. Your breathing is causing global warming. So much is happening, and we wish Nancy Pelosi a speedy recovery, right? I just want to see the video of her falling. I think that we can play on repeat. So the evidence is overwhelming, from Chicago's fiscal meltdown to the FBI's January 6 revelations, from crumbling infrastructure to failing leadership. We're watching the controlled demolition of American institutions in real time. Pelosi's tumble down those marble stairs in Luxembourg isn't just an accident, it's a metaphor for an entire political class. But here is what should really make you think. Is this collapse organic or is it engineered? Are we witnessing the natural end of a corrupt system, or is there something more deliberate at play? Share your thoughts in the comments below on whether Americans' institutions are worth saving or if it's time for a fresh start. And while you're contemplating on the fall of Rome 2.0, gear up for the revolution with our MAG Avengers collection at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com, because from the ashes of corruption, a new nation will rise. Okay, real cool stuff just happened in this segment. Jay Light has just upgraded his membership. He's our first Sentinel member. How cool is that? So Jay Light, and not only that, but Jay Light actually dropped a $100 super chat. How awesome. He says, my wife and I never miss a Gary NNN Live night a few years back. So happy you're doing it again. Format is a little different, but highly entertaining. $100, man. Damn. Brian, we're at $224.65. Can we get that device yet? How much was that thing? That what is it? X keys, or what is it, Brian? What is it called? Stream Deck. Stream Deck. Yes. Yeah, I think I gave mine away. Yeah, I probably sent it to like somebody. Anyway, guess what, guys? Well, we tried to get him on earlier, and the segment was, we already ran that segment. It was like an hour and 15-minute segment in the first segment of the show, and I've been hour and 20. Thank you, Brian. Thank you for reminding me how long my segment went. So I wanted to get him in to talk about his post about these plasma drones, and I actually have his post here somewhere. Yes, Ashton Forbes optimization of plasma propelled drone performance parameters. Well, guess what? He was on a stream while I was pestering him on direct message, and I told you guys to start pestering him by retweeting my post so those notifications would blow up. Well, guess what? He's here. He's here now. The man, the myth, the legend himself, Ashton Forbes. Brian, can you bring in Ashton? Show. Are you trying? Oh man, dude, I had that huge setup, and I got to do another whole setup like that. Okay. Okay, Ashton, we're gonna get to you here. I thought my producer was on point, but I know I gotta bust his balls. He didn't make the scene. How would we have done this before? Good Lord, I can see him in the little screen. Mm. Okay, me, the guest, and a share screen. Well, you can no, but if you can bring in me and the guest in the shared screen. That's fine.
There I am.
Where is he?
How's it going?
There he is. What's up?
Nice to meet
Wow,
you.
Ashton
Kind of
Forbes,
in person, virtually, Gary. Thank you for having me on your show. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, it's actually really cool to have you with me here. I first came across your work. I think I was watching, I think it was like Redacted or something, and they were covering your topic, and that's like the first time I saw that this had kind of crossed over into like the conservative media space. And that was a really good segment that they had you on and really broke it down. And I was freaking hooked from that moment on. And then I started digging, I subscribed to your channel, started like following you on X and like listening to all your podcasts, and like you're like having like martinis and stuff with your live crew. And like, it was really cool. It was really cool. So, we could talk. I do want to do a whole like MH370 thing at some point with you. I mean, the only reason I haven't is because I feel it's like totally saturated now. Like you've been everywhere, but I don't know how much my audience has really picked up on it. I've encouraged them to follow you. I've encouraged them to go and check out your channel and your investigations, which I find to be totally fascinating. And then there's the whole other side of people who are like trying to debunk it. You had these debunkers that were playing games with all the framing and getting people to try to recreate it, and like just how you took those people apart was just fascinating. And yeah, I've always been, you know, I always like love the idea of free energy and hydrogen powered cars. And I own a DeLorean time machine. I was sharing pictures with my car. I'm total sci-fi nerd. And but then like I'm like occasionally I'll tag you in an X post whenever I see something that I'm like paging Ashton Forbes, like we need Ashton Forbes on this right away. And now I see you're starting to post about all these drones, and you have some perspective on that. You went on Emerald Robinson, her show, which completely triggered me with respect to her framing techniques that she was using.
Hold on, let me fix my framing here. How's that? Is that
Yeah,
good?
don't do that to me. Don't do that. Don't do that to me, please, please, please. Okay, so enough of me. I want to give you the floor for a minute because like people are freaking out about all these drones, and you got congressmen who are saying that they're coming off the sea from Iran. You got the Pentagon saying they don't know anything about it. You got DHS hosting town hall meetings, and the state representatives are getting furious. I mean, no one's getting answers, and you're getting a lot of crazy video coming from all different angles. Some are planes, some are possible drones, some are orbs, which is one of your main focuses of investigation. And then you this post now, plasma propelled drone performance parameters. I tried reading through some of it, but it's like way over my head. So I want to give you the floor and just let us have it. What do you think's going on up in those skies?
Yeah, and this isn't all about MH370, but people have to understand the background for me in terms of jumping into this science was those videos. I know people think that they're probably fake. I'd think they're fake too if I was just coming into it and didn't know all the background around it. But I've been teaching myself the science for over a year now, which includes electric engineering, quantum mechanics, and now getting into plasma physics. If you guys are not familiar with Salvatore Cesar Pais, you should check out his work. He's the guy that has these UFO patents. But actually, he's a Navy and Space Force engineer. I've interviewed him multiple times. You can check out my interviews with him on my YouTube channel at JustXAshton. Now, in a lot of his interviews, he said that people should be thinking in terms of plasma. The reason they should be thinking in terms of plasma with respect to these anti-gravity type properties that the UFO community is always talking about is that plasma can store far more charge than any material we could come up with. Any other material, wires that we make wires out of, they're going to melt before they reach charge densities that become really extreme that we would need in order to produce anti-gravity. Why am I bringing this up? Because basically what I'm saying to people is that the United States military and primarily defense contractors, we call them private military contractors, PMCs for short, they have absolutely cracked anti-gravity. And they are far more advanced on fusion research, which uses plasma, than what we understand from the public perspective. In fact, I would go so far as to say that hot fusion, this idea that we're just going to heat up this plasma and we're going to get free energy out of it, that's never going to work. Trying to do it with temperature is never going to make it happen. Instead, cold plasmas are where the secret's at. And it turns out this guy named Ken Shoulders in the 80s, you can look him up if you want, discovered something called exotic vacuum objects. He found out that these cold plasmas have very high charge densities, and they have this weird property where they self-organize and they become self-sustaining. What do they self-organize into? A sphere, a ball of plasma. And Ken Shoulders was partners with a guy named Hal Puthoff. Hal Puthoff is a legendary name in the UFO community. He started a remote viewing in the 70s, and then in the 80s, he switched over and started researching zero-point energy. Now, this is not a pseudoscientist. This guy got his PhD from Stanford. He's written quantum mechanics books. He developed the first tunable laser. This guy has written 20 or so papers on zero-point energy explaining all the gaps in physics that we have today. And he has a patent of his own, and his patent's called communication system. And you go, that's a weird name for a patent. It turns out it's a quantum communication system, otherwise known as a gravity communication system. And if you look his patent up right now, you'll find that it is useful for communicating through plasma where radio frequencies would normally bounce off. So if you add this up, and one more factor I want to throw in real quick is that our hypersonic spy planes, how they achieve hypersonic speed. You've heard this hypersonics from Putin and stuff like that. They use a plasma sheath in front of them. So they have this plane and they have a plasma sheath, and this reduces the drag on the plane. That's how they can achieve those speeds without melting or falling apart. Now think about this. We had those planes in the 60s, the SR-71. At some point, I hypothesized that we realized, why have a plane at all? Why have a person in there? That's the spam in the can. It's a liability. Instead, just turn the plasma into a drone and then communicate with it, and you can remote control it around. And if you were to look at it, it would probably just look like a ball of light or a ball of energy. So I am strongly convinced that we have plasma orbs that we can remote control and float around that defy gravity, and that Salvatore Caesar Pius's patents, when you add them all up, inertial mass reduction for a transmedium craft, gravitational wave device, also high temperature superconductor, and magnetically confined plasma fusion reactor. When you add these up, you go, wait, that equals a ball of plasma just floating around. And he works for the US Navy and the Space Force. So to the point about these drones, if we didn't know what these were, we would have shot these things down weeks ago. Are you kidding me? These things could have warheads on them, weapons on them. They could be suicide bomb drones like in the Ukraine. We'd have shot them down. The United States government knows exactly what they are. We've got spy satellites staring down at every corner of the globe in infrared that we can pick this stuff up. So the fact that they're not saying that they know leads us to conclude it must be them. Go ahead.
Okay. So I saw one of your ex posts, and you had remarked that this was one of the clearest visuals that you had seen. Someone had done like a 200x magnification through a camera. My personal opinion, I thought it was garbage. I mean, because I'm looking at all these videos, right? And I see it looks like when somebody zooms in through a raindrop on a window, and it just becomes like they zoom in on a point of light, and it just looks like some garbage. I don't know. Like some of these things, they've got FAA regulated lighting. Some of them are clearly passenger jets. Some are small passenger planes. But then you have these bizarre things that do look like orbs. Like there was a video we just presented that it was in Miami. There was some kind of a light orb that was over the ocean, and it went right past a building in Miami. And I slowed it down, and if everyone wants to go and watch, we'll post the video of the reporting. But you could see the light of this orb reflecting off of the building. So it wasn't something that was reflected off some glass. So how many types of orb situations are you seeing? Because we're all on different parts of X, and we're all seeing different things. And like I mentioned, there's a lot of disinformation. There's misinformation. I think there's hoaxers out there taking advantage of the hysteria for clicks. I think people are sending up their own drones and throwing crazy lights on it and making people go nuts. People are shooting at drones. They're shooting at things out of the sky now. We just saw the video. So, what percentage of this do you think is actual, like our tech, our plasma orb tech, and what percentage is just a bunch of garbage?
Yeah, basically, I've seen almost zero videos that are compelling to me. So to your point, even that video that I shared, that was just the best one I've seen. Most of the videos I think are absolutely airplanes. And I think that the UFO community has gotten in full confirmation bias mode, where they think they're like, oh, no, this must be UFOs. So now they come up with an explanation that the UFO is shape-shifting into an airplane. It's like, no, I'm looking at red and green navigation lights. I've flown on a lot of airplanes, right? Yeah. Somebody shared a time lapse of satellites. That went viral on various other people's posts. And the reason why you're not seeing me share this stuff is because it's clearly not anomalous. And this stuff just muddies the waters for the most part. So basically, none of the videos I've seen, for the most part, are compelling at all. And that's what I'm pushing as well. Is that say what's really compelling is that clip that just came out like an hour ago, where they're saying that this sheriff or like actual law enforcement is seeing stuff coming out of the water. Now that's really interesting because one of Salvatore Pais' patents is inertial mass reduction for a transmedium craft. These orbs can traverse through space, air, and water as if it's makes no difference whatsoever, because they actually just change the permittivity of the region of space in which it creates this plasma orb. It creates like a natural field of plasma, essentially. So what we really need, honestly, is we need less Nokia phone videos of blurry crap, because that's just muddy in the water. We need the military or intelligence communities to show us Sibber's video, the space-based infrared system. We need stuff in infrared and thermal. The reason why the military is recording in infrared, forward-looking infrared, otherwise known as FLIR, like those 2017 DoD Navy videos, is because this stuff doesn't show up very well in optical. If I'm looking at a ball of light and I look at it with my camera, it's just going to look like a ball of light. It's going to look just like a star. So to your point about the video I shared, yeah that could just be Sirius or some other star that's out there that's not focused. Absolutely. How do you tell the difference? You can't in the optical spectrum. You need thermal and infrared. And that's why, not to dig too much into it, why the MH370 videos are so crucial, because you've got one infrared satellite video and you've got one thermal video, and it gives so much information about what you're looking at. We need something like that to be disseminated from the government to the public. Is Joe Biden and his deep state intelligence community going to do that? Probably not. No. So what I'm telling you guys is, a lot of the stuff out there is just airplanes for the most part, but it does seem like something is going on. And we do ourselves a big disservice when we share all these airplane videos, because then the people that are kind of on the outside looking in are just going, these people are cranks. They're just sharing videos of things with navigation lights on them. We need something that's high quality.
Yeah, we have yet to see that, and I try to do my best when I present these videos, and break it down in like reality. Like, look, guys, these are Japanese lanterns. Here's a whole swarm of Japanese lanterns going up at night, for someone's birthday, right? And everyone's like, "Oh my God, look what's happening on the coast of California!" It's like, no, dude, that's a swarm of Japanese lanterns. Relax, and but the level of hysteria that we're seeing now. See, I was listening to this tangentially. I'm like, okay, whatever, drones, whatever. Like, I didn't really care. But then someone brought to my attention, a friend of mine. She's like, listen, you should probably look into this. And as the further I looked into it, I said, my goodness, these people in New Jersey are freaking out. And then the Department of Homeland Security goes down, has a town hall meeting, and they have no answers, literally no answers for these people. And then there's a congressional hearing, and then you have the congressman, and then you have the Pentagon, and like it just keeps going up the food chain. And you say, well, maybe we should have the government come out and say something. And I mean, they're never going to tell us what's going on. Like, I think this is, we're almost at Trump's presidency, and the level of hysteria. Like, my question is, what else? What's going on in the background? That while we're all looking in the sky in New Jersey, right? What's the left hand doing over here?
Oh, absolutely.
I think
that, this Congress has no idea. I know that for a fact. They have no clue at all, and they don't understand the technology at all either. Eric Davis just released.
Wait. Well, you bring up Congress. Let me just roll it back for 1 second, because Van Drew is like, oh, it's Iranian drones of a mothership. And then he posts satellite images of the Iranian mothership plane, satellite boat, whatever, missing. And then we see these flight radar of a flight path out in the middle of the ocean, circling something. And other people are saying, you know what? They're just trying to get us to go to war with Iran. They want another excuse. And then you have Congress saying, or not even Congress, but you have Mayorkas, and then you have the DNI they're all saying, well, Congress, Congress needs to act on this. Like, really? Like, we're going to wait for Congress to go ahead and give them more power? Go ahead.
Yeah, so Congress has no idea for sure. Like, I've actually spoken to congressmen as well, and they don't understand technology at all. Like, Eric Davis is Hal Puthoff's right-hand man on his third-party company. These guys have had work in black projects. They're black project engineers. They've got top secret compartmentalized access, potentially access to special access programs, and they've just straight up said they would never testify because it would break their NDAs. They would go to prison. So we know the United States government is working on technology that we would consider exotic. Now, does it necessarily have to come from aliens? No, not necessarily. We could have figured it out. I don't know. So they have that technology. That Iran mothership thing was nuts. I actually think that came directly from Chris Mellon. Emerald mentioned this on the spot that I did with her as well. He's the only one I can find out there in this whole UFO community. He's one of these UFO disclosure people. Like, for your audience, because I know this is probably a conservative audience, what you need to know is that a lot of these UFO disclosure people are all left-wing nut jobs, and they are full TDS. They hate Donald Trump, and it should really make you question their motives. They also want you to believe that all this stuff is aliens and that humans could never understand it. It's just beyond our understanding. And then I go talk to Salvatore Pais, and he's got these patents, and he goes, no, like, humans can figure. He told me straight up in the interview, humans can understand this and we can figure it out. So end of the day, you look at this and I can't come to I want to come to a conclusion that's more grounded in like, a lot of facts and reason. But the only thing I can come up with is this is our intelligence community playing a game with our own people, a Project Bluebeam, so to speak. And that's a weird theory, but what if they're just doing this because Trump is coming out and he's saying, we're going to replace the DNI. We're going to have Tulsi Gabbard become director of national intelligence. We're going to have Kash Patel come in and become the FBI director. And this deep state people that have been in power since like Obama, right? Especially if Trump didn't out them in 2016, they're scared. And they're scared because they're hiding technology from the American people that could be free energy, gravity manipulation. They could have been committing crimes to hide this technology. And now, if that information has to get passed on to people like Kash Patel, Tulsi Gabbard, now that's a risk. What if those people don't see it the same way? And they're going, no, we should tell the people about this. And we should tell the people about the crimes that we've been committing. That is scary. So maybe this is like an intimidation move where you say, we've got this crazy
Intimidation move. Interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of it's a splinter theory that's out there because truthfully, I don't know. But what I do know is they know what these things are, 100%, no doubt. They know what these things are. Somebody up there, high up, the Joe Biden's director of national intelligence, Avril Haines, people should be saying her name. That's the person people should be asking for answers. The director of national intelligence is over the CIA, the NRO, the NGA. These are the people that control the satellites. We have the most advanced spy satellite surveillance in the entire planet. So people should be asking her, not the FBI. The FBI doesn't know shit. They're just basically looking at videos on the internet like you and I are doing. And they're going, that's an airplane, right?
Yeah.
And that's why this
you bring up the
go ahead.
You bring up the National Reconnaissance Office, and I've actually been there twice. Years ago, I helped somebody who was kidnapped by arrested by the Canadian authorities. He was tortured, and he was an American citizen. He was tortured in a Canadian prison. I helped him get some visibility for his case, and as a show of thanks, he ended up remarrying a woman who worked at the NRO. And because I asked this guy, I said, prove your case. Like, how do I know you're not just pulling my leg? So he starts sending me documents, and in one of the documents, it had his wife's email address, and it said nro.mil, and I freaked out. And I said, what are you doing? Who are you? And eventually he invited me to a chief master sergeant's dinner, to a luncheon for this retirement. And I walk in there with my wife with this big, long, black leather trench coat, and I'm surrounded by all these NRO agents, and there's all these satellites, in these. You got to go through the security perimeters to go into the building, and I'll never forget. And the one, like a big soffit over this main lobby, it said in big letters, it said, "Silence is their only defense." And it was like, and all these old satellites that they had used. and then a long hallway with all these directors of the NRO that go back to the 1950s because it was a black project for so long, and it was wild to be there. And then we actually went there a second time for a Christmas party. It was the big Washington D.C. Christmas party, tuxedos, everything, and we are just getting smashed. And I'm hanging out with like CIA, FBI, NRO. I'm dancing on the dance floor, and everyone's getting these like fake poker chips, right? And my buddy's like, "We got to go in the elevator to go down to the basement." And he's like, "Just don't worry about the elevator though, because it's designed to incinerate you if you are like trying to steal secrets." Now, I don't know if he was pulling my leg or not, but he actually told me that he was at another dinner and he was sitting next to some like NRO scientist who was drunk off his ass, and he was just running his mouth about aliens and they're real and they have them and it's all true. So before I get to the point in going into the basement of the NRO, which was bizarre, I went the first time we were there. We went to the gift shop. Okay, we go to the gift shop of the freaking National Reconnaissance Office, and you know what they have in the gift? There's a gift shop. You can buy like CIA coffee mugs and sweater. I had like an NRO T-shirt, but like it's like an inside joke. They have all these alien plushies. You can buy these plushies. They're like little alien heads, like on the shelves, like little alien magnets and stuff. Like it's a big freaking joke to these people.
That's how
I'll never forget it. I did all my Christmas. What's that?
That's how they minimize it, though, as well, is that they make a joke out of it.
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
how they protect.
Yeah, they make a joke out of it.
Absolutely.
We went down to the basement of the NRO, and there was a band doing karaoke, and I was so wasted. I was drinking so much, and I was singing Gloria in the basement of a top secret military facility with the cinder block walls. As all these like government agents are playing poker like for charity on the ground. It was crazy. Anyway, sorry, total side note, but you brought up the National Reconnaissance Office, and I thought you'd enjoy that story.
Well, I've got one for you. So, first of all, I want to say too is if you don't believe the plasma drone thing, I want you to know China does believe. That was the point of that post I made about that plasma drone thing. I've never seen a paper like that was so open. It's just like, propulsion for a plasma drone. You're like, what does that mean? But if you understand in the context of our spy planes and the plasma sheaths, it starts to make a lot of sense. Sal Pais as well, I correspond with him occasionally. He told me to look at who was referencing his fusion reaction patent. And you realize it's a bunch of Chinese teams of Chinese, not like one person. It's like 7 Chinese people that are all researching. China is taking this stuff very, very seriously. And I've had a lot of people just like you with that same kind of story that they've told. One, my favorite was that somebody said like they were really good friends with somebody who was relatively high-ranking military person. And they would never really talk about, our stuff. But one time after like 15-year relationship with this person, they get really wasted and they get a phone call from them and they're just drunk as hell, right? And they come out and they basically say, we have teleportation technology. Like the public has no idea. And can you imagine like keeping a secret like that? Like it must just eat at you all the time, or like, we've got something that just literally melt people's minds. And we've got that kind of technology behind the scenes. Part of the way that they've been able to keep this stuff secret is that it's so unbelievable to the public that they just, even if you told the truth, they don't believe you. They just don't believe you. They're just like, no, that can't be possible, can it? And this is part of the reason too why it's so dangerous, in my opinion, to keep it secret. Because this kind of stuff is literally going to institutionalize people. When people realize that we can actually pull off a wormhole teleportation, I think that actually the conservative people are going to be easier to adapt to it because it will show that our universe is a construct and all constructs have a creator. So people that are religious and what have you will be able to adapt to this relatively quickly. It's the people that are
that's why it was so easy for me to understand your MH 370 breakdown was because it I don't know, I never heard it put that way, but you really made it easy for me to understand it, about how the plasma balls, how they rotate, they create the wormhole, and they actually can take that plane and put it wherever they want it. And
Yeah.
I mean, it was very easy for me to understand. And I want everybody who's watching this, I want them to search you up. I want them to go to your YouTube channel. I mean, you've done a lot of interviews, and I think the redacted one was the one that did it for me. So I think that's a good starting point. But yeah, it really makes sense what you
talk
talk
about free
about.
energy next week, by the way. So it probably will drop in a few weeks. But, so just real quick on that front, the reason why these orbs converge in that video, it's like magnets jamming them together. But in this case, those orbs of plasma, like I said, can hold charge that is exponentially magnitudes more powerful than anything that we could do with normal materials. And this gives them an extremely powerful electromagnetic charge. And then when you jam them together, it's like taking two very powerful magnets of the same polarity and jamming them together. And what Julian Schwinger, who won the Nobel Prize in 1965 for quantum electrodynamics, showed, and that what Sal Pais's Pais effect says, is that basically there's a ceiling on our reality. And if your energy increases exponentially and you hit that ceiling, now you've created this wormhole, just a rip in reality, basically. And you can just go right through it. And then for the people who say, oh, free energy is stupid, like we've literally been brainwashed into thinking that free energy is impossible. And what I tell people is, well, is solar power and wind power impossible? No, those things are producing energy with less input because they have an outside input. An outside wind is being inputted into the system. The light is being inputted into the system. This is exactly the same as 0-point energy, which is a quantum mechanical phenomenon that says that even if I have a pendulum and it stops, on the quantum mechanical level, it's always still jiggling. There's always still a little bit of energy there. And if you can extract that energy and amplify it, now you've got a new input. It's not wind, it's not solar, it's just the energy of the fabric of our reality that you tap into. So if there is UFOs that are hovering around like this and defying gravity, what's the energy source? There's no SpaceX rockets on this thing anywhere, So the Black Project engineers, the Lockheed Martins and what have you, they've figured this stuff out like decades ago, and they probably already have free energy devices. In fact, at this point in 2024, they might have been able to turn it into a microchip where you can just like put it in your phone and this phone would just never run out of energy anymore. Like that's how far we might be advanced at this point. And you think, holy shit, that's like 100
Well,
years.
just like when you look at like the Tesla, Wardenclyffe, device that he had, and Westinghouse goes, where do I put the meter, right? I mean, Tesla was ready to give that free energy to everybody, and they couldn't harness it. And that's the only way they can control us is through energy, is through these archaic systems of oil and the internal combustion engine. Of course, they function, they work. I mean, it's a system that just continually feeds into the system itself, the greater system of control. But I don't think they're ever going to unlock those things for us. And the only way for us to be able to exercise it is if we do it individually. I mean, years ago when I would look at like Stan Meyer's water car, I showed my uncle who builds racing engines, and I mean, my uncle went ahead and he recreated a complete hydrogen splitting system in his garage, with all these like copper tubes and water, and like I went there and I saw him fire this thing up, and I saw the hydrogen shooting right out, and this massive tank he was making it in his freaking garage. And I think that's really the only way we're going to be able to harness this stuff individually. But the minute you get that close to the sun is the minute they come in and your wings get melted off by the powers that be. And look what they did to Stan Myers. He was poisoned or had a heart attack after he was in that restaurant. But I think that with the flow of information that we have now at our fingertips through these phones, through X, and through different platforms, it's a lot harder to keep that Pandora's box closed. So there is hope, I think. What are your thoughts before we go?
Yeah, X has honestly given us a platform we didn't have before. I mean, the left wing was censoring every single social media platform before. Elon Musk bought X. I'd have been banned on X under old Twitter within minutes. I got banned on Reddit, and just for talking about free energy. Just for talking about free energy. In fact, I stopped. I know somebody that has a magnetic motor because based on this idea of there being an ether or 0 point energy, magnetic motors can produce over unity free energy. And I stopped doing it for some of the same reasons, because I look and I realize, holy crap, a lot of people have already done this, like Stanley Meyer, like John Cyril, like Tom Bearden. Like, there is a lot of people, and some of them put all the schematics online, everything that people say you should do that's all been done before. These people get disappeared. A lot of them just die of mysterious circumstances. And I went, the issue isn't showing that that's, making a device. That's not the issue. They'll never let you go to market with it. The issue is people need to understand that it's possible, and then we'll change our entire civilization. Stanley Meyer with his water powered car, I think he figured out the idea of negative energy, where the water molecules, the hydrogen and oxygen, just break apart. Like, we don't have to force them apart. They just fall apart with negative energy. And then you can use that to power your engine. That's what he was doing. Tesla understood this more than anyone. In fact, he understood it before quantum mechanics was even a thing. That's why he called it radiant energy. And he knew this energy was out there to be tapped into. Now, this doesn't mean that Einstein was entirely wrong, but what it does mean is that we have room to grow in our understanding of general relativity and physics. So thank you for having me on your show, Gary. This has been awesome.
Yeah, cool. Definitely want to have you back on, and hopefully we can get some answers to what's flying up over our heads in New Jersey. So thanks again, Austin.
Take it easy.
All right. Austin. I said Ashton. It's Ashton. I don't know why I said Austin, but that's Ashton Forbes, folks. Awesome guy. And we've got a lot. We got one more segment to hit, and man, now I feel like a total jackass. I called him Austin. God, I'm such a retard when it comes to names sometimes. But I think I see him still there in the little screen. He's laughing. He's like, peace out, man. Awesome. Cool, dude. Okay. Brian, that was an unexpected segment, but if you clip that out, we'll get we'll upload that individually too. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to have Ashton Forbes on the show tonight. Cool. That conversation went a lot of different places, and didn't expect all that. Okay. Cool. So you guys got a little special today, didn't you? Okay. Where are we? Okay, we got to get this. We got to get this. Okay. Justin's like, we have a little tard in all of us. Oh man. Okay. All right. Okay, we had Trent Hyatt, $2, best chat ever. What's up, Trent? Thank you for that. And then we have PP Cook 84. He said that Trump. Well, this is a long one here. Trump said he was quote unquote bringing them all home. So remember when we had COVID on the interstate and a bunch of indicators, but we didn't tell ATC and the withdrawal vessels. I don't know what all that means. It's a lot to take in at the moment. Okay. Oh, Ashton's going to be on Redacted next week. Cool. Okay. All right, folks. It's already 10:30, and I've got this next segment to get to, and I got to make these thumbnails. And then I'm actually going to be doing a radio show. Just so you guys know, I'm doing an appearance on, let's see. Let me see. I just got to find this message here. It is, Trent says suit one day. No, I'm not doing a suit. I'm done with that suit. I am tired of wearing that suit. Okay. Okay, where is it? Ah, yes. Okay. The Raising Cain Show with Nate Cain. He's a national security expert, cybersecurity expert, and he's a federal whistleblower on Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation. He worked with Grassley and Nunes on that. He was called up by President Trump's White House to assist with election integrity issues in 2020. So I'm actually doing his show live tomorrow night on Rumble. And I think I'll be on for maybe an hour. We're going to talk about censorship, the censorship industrial complex. And where's the time? They didn't give me the time. Well, I've got the time anyway. But so if you go there now, go to the Raising Cane channel on Rumble, and you should see, I believe that they have it like scheduled. So that's where I'll be tomorrow night. Okay? Oh. Okay. Suit one day. No, Trent. No. We're burning them all. Okay. Where are we at? Okay. And I did not, for all of our members, I did not get the new emojis yet. I thought they'd be done by now. You're going to have custom emojis for all of our members. It's like a little emoji of me like doing certain things. It's kind of funny. Okay, let's go. Well, you're about to learn about Joe Biden's mass clemency campaign is going to make your blood boil. We're talking about the largest single-day act of clemency in modern American history. 1,500 commutations and 39 pardons. But here's what they're not telling you. Among those receiving Biden's mercy are Chinese nationals convicted of economic espionage, and a woman who embezzled $54 million from a small Illinois town, and others whose crimes defy belief. Even more disturbing, Hillary Clinton's camp is already floating the idea of preemptive pardons to keep her from getting locked up. Now, this is not justice, my friends. It's a fire sale of American security. And while Biden hands out pardons like Halloween candy, your health and appearance shouldn't get a free pass. Trust BioTrust Revolutionary Collagen Formula the same way you trust us to bring you the real news about these outrageous pardons. Just as we're tracking every suspicious clemency case, this formula targets all 5 critical types of collagen for maximum effectiveness. Visit healthwithgary.com for incredible 51% off, plus free VIP coaching, a bonus anti-aging guide, and our 60-day guarantee. That's healthwithgary.com, because your health shouldn't need a pardon. Okay, this is insane. Biden commuting 1,500 sentences and 39 pardons. Breaking news, America.
Fox News alert right now. President Biden granting the largest single-day act of clemency in modern history. Brooke Singman joins us with this breaking news. Brooke.
Good morning, Brian. That's right. So the White House announcing this news overnight. President Biden commuting the sentence of roughly 1,500 people who were released from prison and placed on house arrest during the pandemic. He's also pardoning at least 39 more people, all of whom have been convicted of non-violent crimes. Now, the previous single-day record for clemency was held by Biden's old boss, former President Barack Obama. But today's action is 5 times larger than that. We had heard reports last week that the Biden administration was considering issuing preemptive pardons for a handful of people like Liz Cheney, Anthony Fauci, and Adam Schiff out of fear that the incoming Trump administration could target them. But it appears none of those 3 names are part of this list. Now, this also follows the president's controversial decision to pardon his son Hunter, who faced sentencing this month for felony tax and gun convictions. White House lawyers say those pardoned this morning had all been convicted of nonviolent crimes such as drug offenses, and say they have since turned their lives around. Lawrence?
Yeah, wait to hear about some of these. Huh? Nonviolent? Okay, sure. Here's a group of folks that probably need pardons. Awake Illinois says, wake up. Everything they told you about January 6th was a lie. The traitorous J6 committee needs to be held accountable. Adam Schiff, Jamie Ratskin, Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, the whole lot of these people, they all need to be held accountable. So I would say I wouldn't be surprised if these people are all on a list. And so Chinese spies. Here's the big question. This is a Muse on X. Pardon? Why is Biden pardoning Chinese spies convicted of economic espionage, defrauding the U.S., and even possession of, well, you see what's on the screen there. And he's going to be doing a full review of everyone he pardons after 120, but he's off to one hell of a start. Economic espionage. Chinese spies. Is this also is payback for China? Remember Hunter was the bagman for China, right? White House spokesperson Joe Biden going to talk with his team about preemptive pardons for allies. That was published 6 hours ago, friends, by Breitbart. This is not going away. This is still being discussed. Preemptive pardons. Now, you remember when Bill Clinton said this? We covered this the other day. Bill Clinton tells The View he's open to Hillary getting a preemptive pardon from Joe Biden. Democrats are terrified because they know they're criminals. They know they abuse their power to persecute conservatives. Dems fear justice. Let's just revisit this for a moment.
Mr. President, Donald Trump will be returning to the White House, unburdened by the pressure of re-election, with sweeping immunity granted to him, I believe, by the Supreme Court, and an alleged enemies list we're hearing. Do you think it would be wise of President Biden to preemptively pardon any potential targets? What about your wife, Hillary Clinton? She apparently is on Kash Patel's list.
For what?
Yeah.
Well, they got a problem with her because first, she didn't do anything wrong.
Of course.
Second, she followed the rules exactly as they were written.
Mm-hmm.
Third, Trump's State Department found, they remember how the emails were such a big issue in 2016? Yeah. Trump's State Department found that Hillary sent and received exactly 0 classified emails on her personal device. It was a made-up, phony story.
Yeah.
Yeah, but of course, if you watch our last video on this, Comey disclosed it all. And he's trying to deflect right now.
So, I guess if Kash Patel is determined to make one up, he could do it. But I think if President Biden wanted to talk to me about that, I would talk to him about it. But I don't think I should be giving public advice on the pardon power. I think
I would talk to him about it. Bill Clinton would talk to him about it.
It's a very personal thing, but it is. I hope he won't do that.
Yeah.
Trump, most of us get out of this world ahead of where we'd get if all we got was simple justice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's normally a fool's errand to spend a lot of time trying to get even.
Yeah, agreed. But if he pardons them, that sort of implies that they did something wrong, which they didn't.
Mr. President.
Okay, yeah, well, he should be seeking a pardon for himself for all those trips he took to that island. Nick Sortor, Biden just pardoned multiple Chinese spies and an individual convicted of possessing what you see there on the screen. Why? Okay, Yu Yanzhu, Ji Huhuan, and Shanlin Zhen. Okay. 240 months imprisonment, November 16th, 2022. 96 months imprisonment, January 25th, 2023. 97 months imprisonment. Now, there is some context that was added to this post. Biden didn't pardon. He commuted the sentence. Okay, we're going to split hairs. He returned them to China as part of a prisoner exchange. 3 U.S. citizens will be released as part of the agreement. The 3 Chinese persons are not permitted to return to the U.S. Okay, so they're part of a prisoner exchange. But still, one of them possessing those types of images is disgraceful. And, okay, Kanekoa the Great, what are the chances Joe Biden will pardon himself, his brother, or 7 other family members who got millions from China, Russia, and Ukraine? You know, the money they found through 20 shell companies and a total of 9 family members, prompting 6 banks to file over 170 suspicious activity reports with the Treasury Department. See, this huge batch of commutations and pardons and clemency acts are all happening right now But what's going to happen the day before he leaves office? And we don't have time to sit here and pull our hair out about it, because it'll be over. He'll be leaving the White House. Trump will be going in. We'll be celebrating. And it's going to be a beautiful day, right? Chances are that the most egregious of these pardons and preemptive pardons are going to happen right before he leaves office. So the question is being asked about his family members. All those people heading up those shell companies that was being investigated. I'm willing to bet all those people are going to get pardons. And Juanita Broderick wants to bet that Biden's collecting big bucks in exchange for the pardons. Joe has been for sale for a long, long time. And this here, Charlie Kirk. Karine Jean-Pierre refuses to deny that Biden is preparing pardons for Cheney, Fauci, and is extraordinary. Refuses to deny. If he does pardon them, this will forever mark Fauci as the chief criminal and Cheney as the architect of the J6 cover-up.
Some of the names that have been floated around preemptive pardons, since it would just be such an unusual, extraordinary step. We talked about in the news, we've seen Liz Cheney, Dr. Fauci. You're talking about the preemptive pardoning. Right. I understand you don't want to get ahead of the president's thinking, but are any of those names wrong or still? Can you tell? I mean, do you want to tell us anything about?
It would be a bad move on my behalf if I preempted the president or previewed anything that the president was thinking about, considering, and so this is something that he's going to talk with his team about. And I just don't have anything beyond that for you.
Some of the names that have
been... don't have anything beyond that for you. Don't want to get ahead of the president or anything. No, we don't. No, we don't. Thomas Massey here. Watch A.G. Garland lie to me under oath for years about whether confidential human sources were at the Capitol on January 6th. Based on DOJ Inspector General's report today, will Garland ask Biden for a preemptive pardon for his perjury? Yeah. Thomas Massey calling out Garland for perjuring himself before Congress.
The Capitol. Okay, I was hoping today to give you an opportunity to put to rest the concerns that people have that there were federal agents or assets of the federal government present on January 5th and January 6th. Can you tell us, without talking about particular incidents or particular videos, how many agents or assets of the federal government were present on January 6th, whether they agitated to go into the Capitol, and if any of them did?
So I'm not going to violate this norm of the rule of law. I'm not going to comment on an investigation that's ongoing.
On that video, that was your answer to a question to me 2 years ago. When I said how many agents or assets of the government were present on January 5th and January 6th and agitating in the crowd to go into the Capitol, and how many went into the Capitol. Can you answer that now?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Oh, last time, you don't know how many there were, or there were none?
I don't know the answer to either of those questions. If there were any, I don't know how many. I don't know whether there are any.
I think you may have just perjured yourself that you don't know that there were any. You want to say that again, that you don't know that there were any?
I have no personal knowledge of this matter. I think what I said last time.
You've had 2 years to find out.
So Massey's calling out Garland for perjuring himself. Maybe Garland's on the list to get a pardon too, right? What else have we got for you here? Donald Trump Jr., 15 hours ago, asking the question, why on earth would Joe Biden commute pardon a Chinese national in jail for possessing 47,000 of those images? Oh, unless the Chinese Communist Party has a lot more info on the Biden crime family. There's so much more to this that needs to come out. Here's the headline from the Dallas Morning News. Allen man who attended SMU pleads guilty after 47,000 images found on computer. Executive grant of clemency. And he's got it posted right here. Whereas Shanlin Jin was convicted in the United States District Court on indictment of docket X, charging violation section blank for a total sentence of 97 months imprisonment, 5 years supervised release, restitution $30,500. And here it is. This is the whole clemency act that I mean, You guys know what Hunter Biden called his father in Hunter Biden's phone. In the contact name for his father. I don't even want to say it. Pete was the second part of it. Okay? So, I don't know. Maybe there's a connection there. Here's another person sentenced to almost 20 years for committing the largest municipal fraud in U.S. history, embezzling nearly $54 million from the small city of Dixon, Illinois. Now, why would Biden grant Rita Crunwell clemency? Here's a story. I'm not sure where this originated from. Looks like a professionally packaged piece, but let's get some background on this.
You completely pull the wool over her town's eyes.
Do you think you were just smarter than everybody else, Rita?
$53+ million is just unbelievable.
She lived quite a life, totally different life than what she portrayed here.
By day, she's wearing municipal clothes, and by night, she's dripping with jewels and furs.
World champion Rita Crunwell.
She had this grand, high-stakes horse empire.
My first thought was, Dixon has that much money that you could embezzle that much money from a little tiny place like this?
People just trusted her so well, more than anything.
Rita, how did you go to bed and not think, whose lives I'm infecting here?
One of the things the FBI wanted to find out was, did she do this alone? Was she hiding for somebody else?
For 20 years, I worked side by side with this woman, and I never knew her. I never really knew her.
All the Queen's Horses. I guess it's a documentary about that whole case. $53 million. $54 million she embezzled. Biden commuting her sentence. And then Laura Logan, what on earth is this? Why would Biden do this? Does the Democrat Party really want to go down in history as the party of that word? I don't even like saying it. It's just incredible. Shadow of Ezra, she quote tweeted Joe Biden granted clemency to Shanlin Jin, a convicted who possessed a horrifying collection of 47,000 images, including videos. Oh, don't even want to read it. But here's here's Adam Kinzinger on Donald Trump vowing retribution. See, let's listen to what he has to say first.
Republicans, I'm afraid that what we're going to get out of this, I don't think Donald Trump is like going to stay president forever or run a third time or anything like that. But I do think there's going to be serious damage to the guardrails of democracy. And by the way, Republicans, if there's a day that Democrats decide to do the same thing to you, you won't have a right to complain about it. So, look, I'm going to continue to fight for democracy. That's my job. I've done it for 46 years. But, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Congressman,
Yeah, we'll see what happens. You're going to be begging for a pardon soon too, buddy. Just like Adam Schiff. Yeah, we played this the other day, but Sarah Rose, Adam Schiff is declining a pardon, saying it's unnecessary. Yeah, he's saying this in public. What's he saying behind closed doors, though?
Do that. I don't think it's a good idea, and I would urge the president not to do that. First of all, I think it's unnecessary, but I also think it's unwise. I don't want to see a precedent where you start to have presidents on the eve of leaving office issuing blanket pardons to people of their own party or of their own administration. That, I think, would tend to encourage people to feel they're not beholden to the law because the outgoing president will give them a prospective pardon. So I think it's unwise policy, and I would urge the president not to go down that road.
Yeah, that's what he's saying in public, right? What's he saying behind closed doors? That's the other thing here. I wonder how much money pardons are going for these days. I bet the big guy gets more than 10%, says Juanita Broderick. Yeah, Rita Crunwell, who embezzled over $53 million from small town. Yeah, she just got one. Amuse posting this 7 hours ago. Joe Biden's on track to pardon more people than any president in history. Chinese spies, horse thieves, relatives, politicians, cartel bosses are all hopeful. And he gives you a list here of all of the people pardoned. Barack Obama looks like had commutations 1,715 and 212 pardons. And it looks like Biden it looks like he's going to hit 2,304 commutations and 709 pardons. Not sure if that's going to happen. This is one of those Chinese spies right there. New York Post publishing the mugshot. Biden pardoning Chinese spies. And here is the moment. Here's another one here. Sandy Fonzo confronted a judge who was part of the Kids for Cash scheme, where two judges were receiving millions of dollars to send kids to for-profit prisons. Her son ended up doing something horrific. Biden commuted the sentence of one of the judges. Libs of TikTok posted this. This looks like a flashback news report from CNN back when they actually did real journalism.
The former judge was convicted today of 12 counts.
Actions. You need to be. Do you remember me? Do you remember me? Do you remember my son? An all-star wrestler? He's good. He shot himself in the heart. You scumbag.
A heartbroken, really an outraged mother lashing out at former Judge Mark Civarella. Now, her son, an all-star wrestler, killed himself after being sent to a juvenile detention facility for a minor drug offense. Now it turns out that Civarella was accepting money to do that, send kids away for cash. The former judge was convicted yesterday of 12 counts, including racketeering and money laundering. The judge remains free while he awaits sentencing.
Actions. You need to.
Absolutely heartbreaking. Brian, we're going to have to cut that clip out. Just because of the nature of the content. And the last time we had anything graphically described here on this channel, we had a lot of problems for the last 22 months. So let's go ahead and cut that last clip out of this segment and cut it out of the live stream in post, please. Yeah. So I hate to do that, but you guys see it here. We're going to have to cut it out in post. But that's where we're at right now. So, Joe Biden pardoning Chinese spies. 1,500 sentences, 39 pardons in one day. And the Clinton family is going to have a conversation with Joe Biden, it seems, but Karine Jean-Pierre still dodging the reality of what's about to hit. So many questions. We're going to continue to cover all this. So the magnitude of this pardon spree isn't just unprecedented, it's suspicious. From Chinese nationals convicted of espionage to domestic criminals who betrayed public trust, Biden's clemency list reads like a who's who of America's adversaries. And now with whispers of preemptive pardons for political allies growing louder, we have to ask, is this justice or is this a preparation for what is coming in the next 38 days? So here's what should keep you up tonight. Who's really pulling the strings behind these pardons? And more importantly, what do they know about what's coming? Share your theories in the comments below about why Pardon's administration seems so desperate to clear the slate before Trump's return. And while we track every suspicious pardon, show your patriotic spirit with our MAG Avengers gear at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com, because some things just can't be pardoned. Okay. That was a little bit of a shorter segment, and it's already 11 o'clock. I've got 4 thumbnails to make, and then I'm actually going to be speaking at a luncheon tomorrow for a local Republican group. Looking forward to that. Brian, did you get my note on that last segment about that clip out? Because of the way that woman had described. Okay. God. Man. Last thing we need is to have another flag on this account right now. Okay, folks, we have hit $236.65 in Super Chats today. We've got 9 new members, which is exciting. Trent Hyatt dropping another $5 on the chat, and he says, "We love you." Well, thank you, Trent. We love you too. I don't even know how we hit that much money. There was $100 super chat that came in, and everybody, I mean, all these members, everyone, you guys are great. I'm going to forego what I normally do at the end of a show when I go through all of the latest breaking news because it's late and I do not want to have another late night. I need to make sure I get my sleep tonight. So we're going to close it out. We had that interview with Ashton Forbes, which was totally unexpected and very cool. We're going to publish that too as well. At 1,000, Gary does the Trump dance. I'll do it for free. How about that? Hey, yeah, I'll do it for free. Okay, so Patriots, we've just taken you on a journey through what might be the most consequential news day in recent memory. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, you should be, because what we've uncovered tonight isn't just a series of random events. It's a pattern that points to something much bigger. So let's recap what we have learned. Mysterious drones are penetrating our most sensitive military airspace while the government stands down. Is it incompetence or complicity? You decide. But remember Elon's warning about epic drone wars. He's been right before. And then there's Trump's Department of Government Efficiency already sending shockwaves through the system. Wall Street's celebrating, big tech's capitulating, and the deep state bureaucrats, well, they're updating their resumes. The swamp creatures, well, they can feel the water draining. We showed you the collapse of our institutions in real time, from Chicago's mayor fleeing his own chamber to Nancy Pelosi's tumble in Luxembourg. The FBI's January 6 revelations prove what we've been saying all along. The system isn't just broken, it's been corrupted from within. And of course, we had the unexpected interview with Ashton Forbes. Yeah, that was something else, right? Who knew that about plasma orbs and government technology? Good stuff right there. And finally, Biden's unprecedented pardon spree. Chinese nationals, convicted criminals, who knows what's coming next. With just 38 days until Trump's return to the White House, the timing couldn't be more suspicious. And to everyone who sent in the super chats and Rumble rants, we hit $236.65 tonight. Thank you. We see you and we hear you, and we are grateful for your support. Special thanks to our channel members at all levels, operatives, commanders, and sentinels. 9 new members tonight. Your support keeps real journalism alive. And speaking of support, if you value what we do here, consider making a donation through the links in the description. We don't answer to corporate overlords or deep state handlers. We answer to you, the American people. And don't forget to visit our new merch shop at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Our exclusive Mag Avengers collection isn't just clothing, it's a statement, and it tells the world you stand for truth, no matter what. Now, before we go, tell a friend about what you saw here tonight. Text them the link, share it on social media, spread the word however you can, because let's be honest, you won't see any of this on the mainstream news. Remember, in just 38 days, everything changes. But until then, we will be here bringing you the stories they don't want you to see, asking the questions they don't want to ask, and telling the truth they try to hide. From all of us here at the Raw Feed, thank you for joining us. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and we will see you next week. Have a great weekend.